beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
I gotta get away with this. No!
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's true.
Sometimes I cry.
Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Drunken Peasants Podcast, episode 959.
Do it live!
Doing it live. Got goddamn podcast back in the house.
Yeah.
Doing it again.
In the house.
Welcome, guys.
Oh, yeah. God damn it. I kind of miss Bill O'Reilly sometimes.
Fuck it!
What's the matter with you?
Fucking dude, but he was so much. He was like such.
He's
an
better than
obvious
Tucker. Tucker
show.
took his
Yeah.
place.
See, I like
Yeah.
Tucker more.
No.
Yeah, because
Nah.
Bill O'Reilly seemed too confident. At least Tucker seems like.
But he
Bill
was like-
O'Reilly was a big, scary guy. Bill O'Reilly's
And he was-
probably
but-
like 6'5".
He was
I'll
like
beat
a
his ass.
confident buffoon. He's the guy that said, "You don't know how the tides work." Like,
he was
You don't know how the tides work.
Tucker seems to have more of a rabid following than
But everything's
face
more
it?
rabid right
Bill.
Yeah, I
Bill,
think.
yeah.
Yeah, because like Tucker's a little weenie, but yeah, I know what you're saying. But also, Bill O'Reilly, he was the head guy at Fox News. He had the highest ratings and everything, and all he did.
was their top show,
Yes, he was. He was.
and he was hilarious because like he had segments like the no spin zone where it was
Yeah.
like nothing but spin.
was
Nothing
all
but
spin.
Yep.
Fucking great.
Well,
and he had like the culture warrior
But
bits, which were
that's
like
when Fox
fucking
News-
so cringy.
Like during the Bush years, that's when Fox News's whole slogan was "fair and balanced."
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
God.
they pretended. back, you know, it used to be Hannity and Combs.
It had
Combs
to
is
be.
dead.
It had to be originally because you had to have an equal representation.
But like
in
seriously,
media from each side.
let's talk about this objectively. Hannity looked like the frat boy that was like head of the football team, and Combs looked like a fucking corpse.
Yeah.
And they were like debating each other.
Hannity
And
looked
they- no,
like he
and
took
they
your hand
purposely picked
virginity,
up-
and Combs looked like
Hannity had like nice hair, and he was a younger guy. He had a strong jaw. Combs looked like a fucking skeleton.
he looked like he could fit through the
purposely picked up
prongs
that
on the
thing,
combs.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, they do it on purpose. Freaking Ailes knew what he was doing, and Murdoch knows what he's doing with all this shit. They say Murdoch like watches Fox News with this like volume off.
Everybody watching at home, we got to hit the goal tonight.
We have to, and we're thanks to last. Oh, by the way, it's still open. I have not changed it tonight, so far at least, until it gets too overbearing. TTS $5 a piece.
It might get overbearing because I got a deal, guys. We're gonna turn on the claw machine. So every time for the next hour until 7:30, okay, till 7:30 Pacific Standard Time,
An
an
hour
hour
from now.
after the half an hour. So we're gonna wait till 6:23 now, 7:30 till 7:30. Every level we hit on the every next 100. So we're at 332 now. So we hit 400, 500, 600, 700, 800. If we hit them all, for every level we hit, I'm gonna chug a White Claw for the next.
Dude, I made this mistake last show, all right, and I almost made it to the end, but I was fucking plastered. I fucking.
I got a plaster pack.
Do you remember? Because I Dark Matter unfortunately had
He
to
left.
go right at the beginning of the show,
Yeah.
so it was me, and I thought I was holding up pretty well, and I was like,
Oh.
for every $50 you guys make, I'll
I
chug a beer,
remember that.
and I chugged all the beer I had. And I was fucking wasted. So, and I like had to tap out at the end because I could barely fucking hold my head
Right.
up.
All right, for every $100, I'll take a deep swig of this root beer I have right here.
Yeah.
Fucking, don't get too heavy. It's diet.
He's
I
a
guarantee
man's
you it's
man.
diet.
It is diet.
We're turning on the claw machine, but I have to stop at 7:30 because I have to drive home. So the show will already go long, even if I just drink one White Claw, let alone if I somehow get all 6.
Will you take a weed bath again?
I don't have any weed bath bombs.
That was so funny. You took a bath on the
a weed
show.
bath, yeah.
It's like, what?
That was my weed
He
bath.
had his shorts on. Or were you naked?
Dude, I was slanging dang-a-lang.
Yeah, but you had it like positioned right.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I tucked it. I was Tucker
Yeah,
Carlson.
because we have a bathroom like out, like just outside of the studio where like the shitter is, and Billy had a bath bomb. It was like a CBD bath bomb, and we met a goal, and he got naked and washed himself. People were very eager to see that, though. You know,
basic
Dark Matter,
white
you see,
girl.
I treat you pretty well, Dark Matter, because I've not asked him to do any, bath bomb stuff or anything
my God.
like that.
I
Not
didn't
for the show anywhere.
I didn't ask him
Oh
to
yeah,
do.
yeah. In personal life, yes.
I didn't ask Billy to do this, but last week we had our buddy Scott Henson, who's he's like an indie pro wrestler, and the whole thing was like if we made the goal, Scott would give Billy 10 chops, and Scott cut Billy the fuck up with his chops, and Billy was bleeding from the chest because this dude hit him like whack, like crisscross. And he had these crisscross, like, bleeding cuts on his chest. And then later that night, Scott told me, like, after you left, he was like, oh, dude, I feel bad. Like, maybe I took it a little too far.
It was funny.
You're healed, though. You're like Logan, basically.
Yeah, well, it was over a week. I heal.
Not even a scab, though.
Well, I'm not going to. I heal really well.
You were bleeding, or
Yeah.
at least, like, leaking plasma, you
Yeah.
know?
I break pretty easily, but I also heal really easily.
You got that alabaster skin.
Yeah, I'm the alabastard.
Jesus Christ. I find that I heal from certain things very quickly and other things not so much. I've got I've had burns that I was sure that we're gonna leave. Like I've burned this entire like finger off.
In the kitchen?
It was like, no, it was. Oh God, it's a terrible. So it sounds like I'm the idiot when I first tell you how it happened, but it's not the case. It was a giant bottle rocket.
Oh, my God.
And I was not the one that was fucking around with it. Some drunk chick put this thing in a beer bottle and was holding it up and lit it and let go of it. And so obviously these things are way too heavy for a beer bottle. So it just tipped right over in a crowd of people. And
That's
like I'm one of the only
dangerous.
people paying attention. And so I grabbed that fucker by the end of the stick and I fucking flung it. Like, and right as I was letting go of it, the propulsion and shit, everything went off and it just melted my entire finger. Like all the skin and nail and everything was just like drooping, melted.
We watched.
It was bad.
We
I
watched
thought
a
it was never gonna
video
heal.
on our Patreon show the other night. I don't know what country it was in. It was in a different country. These guys on the top of some like high-rise building shot a bottle rocket off of their roof, and it just happened to fly like a couple 100 feet across the way through a window in a building and set the building on fire.
Yeah.
And they were all like, oh shit.
I want to watch that video, damn it.
Oh, hold on. Let me find it.
Can
Hold
we
on.
watch it on the
yes.
on the free show?
Yes. Hold on.
Most
Just
of the
this one,
videos
just for me.
last night were too hot for YouTube.
I'll show this one to you.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Don't try this at home. And don't try this next to somebody else's home.
This is not even like a giant bottle rocket. The one I'm talking about was way
Yeah.
bigger.
Watch this damage. Oh shit!
They run away.
That's so rude.
That looks like footage from Iraq.
Yeah.
Dude, that report on that was fucking fantastic. Boom.
Boom.
So messed up.
Shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, that's the kind of shit that'll make you feel like, what have I done? You're just trying to have some innocent fun. And it just goes straight into someone's open fucking screen door. Oh God, imagine you're sitting there just watching a scary movie. It's right before the fucking or even better yet, you're watching like Black Hawk Down.
I didn't even think
Or
if the
as I-
screen
as
door
I
was
like to call
open.
it, Black
was
Hawk
open.
Down. It
Yeah.
depends how you say that movie title. It really does. Is
I
it
had-
Black Hawk Down or is it Black Hawk Down? Black Hawk Down.
Black Hawk
Black
Down.
Hawk Down.
Black Hawk Down.
The sequel
Pretty
was
sure
Black
it was.
Black Hawk Down Syndrome.
Oh, Jesus.
It was lovely.
Yeah.
Damn. I thought you were going to say, like, Black Hawk Up.
Ponte River. All right, 1 hour left on the claw machine, guys. 1 hour from now.
Where do I donate?
The kids.
Streamlabs.
Yeah, guys, for everybody watching at home, Streamlabs only. Every goal we hit, every $100 level we knock off. It's gonna.
You're gonna chug it till it's
chug
gone.
Yeah, I'm gonna chug a little tootie.
A little tootie.
Children of Bodom says, "Come on, is TJ and 3 days grace extra? What does that mean? What's
don't-
3 days grace?
I think that's a band.
Oh,
It is.
oh,
It is a band.
Some kind of 90s band that I remember the name of, but I can't name one song.
damn.
Could not tell you a single tune. They probably played them on the radio like nonstop back then, but I like them and like what 7 Mary 3 and all these other like
Yes.
random fucking bands that you've never. You want to hear something funny? The old lady
Have
teaches
some money,
a,
sweet boys. Neb,
nice.
let's play Diabler.
Let's play Diablo.
Diabler.
Yeah.
old lady teaches a class, and one of her students is embarrassed that her dad was the drummer from Creed.
No.
I was like, damn. Like, yeah.
What was Seven
dude.
Mary 3? Was that like cumbersome? Was that
Yeah, I
Seven
think
Mary
that was
3?
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cumbersome.
Cumbersome.
What was the other one that? God, they had so many great songs back then. Like the "You Make Me Come," "You Make Me Complete," "You Make Me Completely Miserable."
I like that one.
I think that was. Hold on. I think that was the same band that did "Sleeping with My Clothes On." What was the name
Last
of that band?
night.
Yeah. I can't remember their
Came
name.
through the wind, lit.
Lit. Yes, it was Lit. And I think Pamela Anderson was in that "You Make Me Completely Miserable" band
Music video.
Or video. Yeah.
The only band she's never been in a band, but a band has been in her.
Like a bunch of bands have been in her.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was too easy.
Can
No,
you imagine?
Just
I
like
love
Pamela
those.
Anderson. Yeah.
Can you imagine anybody on Earth worth getting hepatitis C for more than her?
Hey.
Last night I met the man behind I Hate Everything. That channel. That guy is a very interesting guy.
Did he show you his
He
phone?
gave me a hug. He's a kind of
Did
genuine.
he have a thick tool?
Well, I didn't see that.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I don't know. I heard you
never
guys went
will
out for.
tell.
we went out
How
for
close
fat
of a hug
sandwiches.
was it?
Oh,
Maybe.
I went to a furry convention with Scott and Adam from the channel YourMovieSucks.org. And because Adam is a furry and Scott is a furry, I am not, and Alex is also not. But it's always a fun time. That's the thing. Like furry, I've been to 2 of them now, and everyone is pretty amazing. I
How
have
many
no
times
complaints.
did you get yiffed?
I did not get yiffed, but I never put myself in the position to get yiffed.
What
So-
what
Are
does
you sure?
being yiffed mean?
That means like fucked in furry lingo.
Yeah, it's furry talk for sex.
Yeah.
What is the
I-
etymology of yiffed?
I don't know how
I-
it got
What's
started.
a yiff?
I feel
Y-I-F-F.
like I don't really need to that explanation as much as I feel the need to explain that why I know what yiffing is, and it's from being like following like cringe pages and shit like that. For the most part, I have no issue. Do your thing. You do you. No cringe shame or no kink shaming. It's not like it's only cringe if you. I don't know. Like it can be done wrong, and there can be like cringe involved for sure. But just being into that stuff is not like cringe in itself, as far as I'm concerned. Do you?
I think it's a
I'm
little
not here to judge.
exaggerated, like the furry culture that I've kind of experienced personally. I was at a party last night, late at night, on the top floor of the Hyatt Regency Seattle in this suite. There was probably, 30, 40 people in there, only about 5 people actually had fursuits on of any kind. And then there was like a couple people that had like tails that they were wearing. But there was hardly any, like, everyone imagines if you're a furry, you wear a fursuit. But I know I've known Adam for a while. He's never owned a fursuit. So
Scott's got a modified wrestling suit that's part fur.
It's kind of, it's like furry feet and
Make
a tail.
Billy suck down those white claws like the classy lady he is.
I'm a sweet boy. We're $50.57 away from one chugger.
I was just about to say, you're gonna get that math.
I gotta get that math.
Do you guys ever like go to 7-Eleven and like if I'm getting gas, I'll get Monster or whatever the fuck, a bag of chips, whatever, and then I'll do the math to make it like $40 even. They're like, oh, that's $9.92. I'm like, okay, well, give me $30.08 on pump 4 or whatever.
Oh yeah, whenever I paid,
they're like, how did you do that? I'm like, dude, you're
really
a cashier,
simple.
you fucking idiot. You should be able to do that.
No, they shouldn't be able to because they're a cashier.
Right.
Still, but if you're handling money, you should probably be able to do basic math.
Never that.
Do you guys have the thing where you live where if you pay cash, gas is less expensive than if you pay credit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not in my area, but there are stations that do that. And I've definitely, so in Kingsland, Georgia, which is like the first town once you go over I-95 from Florida, I always stop and get gas there, whether I have 3/4 of a tank or whatever, because it's the cheapest gas around and you get a better rate for paying cash.
So I'm wondering, like, dark matter, do you put premium or regular in the Lotus? Like, do you put...
It has to be premium.
Okay. I would think so. So what is it? Is it like a 12-cylinder?
No, it's a V6.
It's a V6?
Yeah, it's a supercharged V6, and it's pretty light. It's a 400 horsepower car, but it's a lot. Most of its speed comes from it being so light.
Okay.
The gas has to be premium because the fucking driver is regular.
Yeah, because like I drive a Dodge Charger RT, and that's a V8. So I thought a Lotus would have like more cylinders, but I'm not.
It's probably, dude, your mom's minivan is probably faster than that fucking thing. It's a fucking, it's nothing but looks.
It's beautiful.
It is a good looking car, but
slow. It goes 188 miles an hour.
I got another joke with the gas thing. It has to be premium because the driver is a wannabe Vin Diesel.
Yeah, here in Bellevue, like there's a town like Bellevue, Washington. It's a suburb of Seattle. We have a town that kind of is like a little nub off of ours called how do I pronounce it? Medina or Medina?
I always say Medina, but
Medina.
Could be wrong.
That's where like Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos and all them live. And because of all the money in this area, there's McLaren dealerships, there's a Lotus dealership, there's Ferrari, Bugatti, like big Italian sports car dealerships. I'll just drive by them going down the road here, and you'll see them on the road on a normal basis. It's really weird.
So
that's awesome.
I live kind of close to the town where there's a lot of like really rich people, shacks, houses over there and shit like that. But I went to drop my daughter off in a gated community to one of her friends' houses that I'd not been to before. And she's like, okay, it's the second house on the left. And as I'm pulling in the driveway, there's a Bentley in the driveway. And I'm like, wait, they have a garage. Who the fuck leaves a Bentley? What kind of junk do you have in your garage that is more important than the Bentley in your driveway? So she texts her friend, says, oh, I'm here. And of course, instead of coming through the door, they open the garage. And as soon as the garage starts opening, I see the Lamborghini. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so I'm, quick chat with the mom before I drop my daughter off to hang out with her friend there. And the mom is like, oh yeah, he's out in the Ferrari right now.
Oh my God.
I'm like, okay. And how I'm like this close to asking for a loan. Just so you know.
Yeah, if I bought a Lamborghini or a Bentley or a Ferrari, TJ would find a fucking way to make fun of me for
buy
it.
Buy it, please. Please buy it.
Dude, put me to shame. Go spend $250,000 to shut me up.
Look at a McLaren too, though. I see those all over town here too, and those are beautiful cars.
Dude,
yeah.
You don't even have to go that far anymore. Like the new Supra is like a sporty ass little nice car, and you spend a fraction of that
Toyota?
on maintenance. Yeah, they just came out with the sporty ass new Supra is plenty enough. Should be enough for like pretty much anybody. It's not like it's just enough of like, hey, I have a tiny dick. That's what these cars are, right? Dark matter.
No,
tell them you have a micro penis and you needed something to make up for it.
I could say you make a good argument for like the people who had the big diesel truck with the fake truck nuts hanging off of it because it's like literally your dick. You're hanging nuts behind it. But I don't know about a nice sports car.
Look, sporty cars that's like everyone wants a sporty car. Nobody wants to be driving a fucking there's a few people I guess that want to be driving a fucking windowless, painter's van or something like that. But most of us would like something like sporty or whatever. But my point is that to go overboard to the point of spending like hundreds of thousands of dollars on something that depreciates in value so severely, for the most part, Dark Matter will argue that he sold his previous Lotus for more than he paid for it, or it was the trade-in was worth more than what he paid for.
Something else.
So it actually appreciated in value, but that usually doesn't happen with vehicles.
Something else.
I mean, I owned the car I owned it for 11 years, and I got $5,000 more than I paid for it.
That's not bad.
But that's because you left it in a garage, and dude, this guy sent me a picture.
It was an investment.
He when he hit 16,000 miles.
I put 15,000 miles on it, Teach.
Wow. 15,000 miles in 11 years.
Yeah.
Not exactly his grocery getter. You know what I mean? Like that thing sat in the garage. Of course it's going to appreciate in value. It did nothing. It got maintained on a regular basis and yada, yada, yada. And the one you got, I will give him credit. He upgraded to from a go-kart Lotus to an actual car of a Lotus. So I'm going to give him credit where it's due. I fit in this one.
A weird thing here is we have the RTA, the regional transit tax in our county. They charge you when you renew the stickers on your plates every year, they charge you 10% of the Blue Book value of your car to renew your plate. Yes.
No, fuck that.
So
dude, Florida is the complete opposite. We don't even do emissions checks. I don't have a catalytic converter in my car because when I bought it, it didn't have an exhaust or bumpers or a hood or wheels, and so I built it, got the wheels, got the hood, got all the stuff. And when I came to the exhaust, I was looking into the catalytic converter, and I'm like, that's way too fucking much money. And everything that's aftermarket, they say like we'll throw a code on it like after a month. They're like it'll work for a month, and so you have to buy the legit shit, which is ridiculously expensive. And so I was like, you know what, straight pipe, and that's what I did.
DJ, my car has 3 catalytic converters, by the way.
So does my Mazda. My previous vehicle, it's got 2 pre-cats and one in the exhaust, right?
Oh, okay.
I know. Right. I've got the same fucking thing in my Mazda, man. Don't try and out-car me, buddy.
Your car is like prime crackhead bait for like them to like sneak under your car and steal all those catalytic converters.
No, dude, good luck.
You can't. It's got the bottom. It's got it's totally
covered. See, mine
because
was
it's so
open,
low.
But I always laugh because I put mine up on ramps, and it took us 2 hours to get the fucking like the catalytic converter out of the exhaust, and that's the easy one to get to. I'm like, yeah, dude, if anyone else can take that off, like in my driveway, they can have it.
Isn't that like gold and platinum in a catalytic converter? There's like platinum. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's definitely like if you break it down, that's why they're expensive as shit, and they're necessary, I guess, same way that ethanol is necessary, because there's so much emissions that we have to do something, even though it lowers your gas mileage, lowers your horsepower, it lowers the life of your engine when you put the ethanol infused gasoline in it. I don't know if you guys have the option of ethanol-free gas, but we have that here. You can pay extra and get no ethanol in your gas. And it does extend the life of your engine, but like the point is that we have so many cars on the road that if we don't do something, it's going to be totally out of control. And I think it's ridiculous to have it done like not only state by state, but like county by county.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I remember the John Kerry George Bush election. That was the first time they were like, "Oh, we don't need oil. We could make ethanol," and that was literally. Big corn is a real thing in America. Big corn. You gotta, like, all the shit they throw away, like, they harvest the food part of corn. All the shit they throw away, they make that into fuel. They make it into sugar. They make it into, like, everything.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they make it into a band.
Well, maybe. Are you ready?
That's the truth, though. Corn runs our country.
Yeah,
it's an extremely easy crop to steal from the natives and make profitable.
It gets all these subsidies when we could subsidize better stuff, healthier stuff, but we just want to turn it into ethanol and freaking high fructose corn syrup.
I liked how they used to sell that as like a clean alternative to oil fuel, like petroleum.
Yeah, ethanol. Yeah, and what was they love anything like corn based. And look, corn is can be very, very useful. I like popcorn. I like corn on the cob.
If you've ever been to the Midwest, you'll know that if you leave a city, it's literally miles of corn in every direction. That's where I grew up.
That fucking like that Mexican street corn where they put like that.
Elotes?
Oh my god, I love that shit.
I love me some hominy.
My main point is you could chew every kernel and it like reconstitutes in your stomach. You're shitting out whole kernels of corn. Your body is not meant to.
Do you like bone broth and hominy?
Yes. I like menudo and pozole. Pozole is one of my favorites. I lived in New Mexico for a long time, so I was indoctrinated.
You guys are speaking Spanish to Dark Matter here because he is not aware.
I recognize maybe 20% of the words you guys have just said in the last 5 minutes.
I didn't either. No, seriously. When I moved to New Mexico, I felt like I had moved to another country. And it's one of the only there's two states that have like an Anglo majority or minority, and it's New Mexico and Hawaii. Like Hawaii and New Mexico have like majority populations that are not like white. So you get
Anglo. Like the legit shit.
Yeah.
Like Dark Matter and a company came to visit us, and we took them over to a place locally that it's nothing but like old Hispanic women in the kitchen. And like
I love that shit.
They just nail the fuck out of every goddamn thing. It does not. I told him like order anything. Any of it's going to be good. And I told him like try one of their samplers. They're like they do platters where you get like 2 of this, 1 of this, 1 of this, or do one of those because you got to try as much as you can. When one of our other buddies came by afterwards, Paul, the ginger, anyway, he came by afterwards and I took him to the same place. He's like, let's go. I want to try this place. You said Dark Matter and you went and ate it. So we went there and it was fucking really good, of course. And as he's leaving, he's like, what was that place called again? I was like, why? He's like, I'm literally going to go right back over there and grab dinner on the way out because like he wanted lunch and dinner from that place. That kind of level of with good like Mexican or Hispanic, Spanish, like any of that shit will fucking hit the spot. You give me a good fucking enchilada and I will just like mow the fuck down. I would be a much bigger man.
In New Mexico, a burrito you cannot hold in your hands because it's packed to the brim. It's like looking like it's going to explode, and it's covered in sauce and cheese. It's a fork and knife burrito, basically.
Huh. Isn't there the one they cover in French fries after that too?
That's the Travis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a totally different. That's like an eating challenge that is unbelievably crazy. The Travis, but.
That sounds like one I would like to take.
I'll tell you what, New Mexico,
I'm terrible.
The most obese state I've ever lived in.
Yeah.
I usually get robbed on the all-you-can-eat stuff. The only time I get my money's worth with all-you-can-eat is if it's wings. and that's mainly if like grilled wings are an option, because I can eat like fucking maybe if I'm pushing it like 60 grilled wings. If I'm pushing it, and I waddle out of that place on a like regular night, 40, 45. Dude, no, I eat like a bird and I drink like a fish.
Really?
I'm 6'6". I'm 6'6", 250.
When big guys can't eat a lot, I get sad.
No, I can eat. I can eat a lot. Dude,
TJ, do you have any idea what 30 birds looks like? Like 30 birds had to die for your meal.
Well,
just try to
their
picture
wings. Like,
yummy.
Somebody else can eat the breast meat. That can go in like a chicken salad or something.
Yeah, they're tiny little breastises just for you, Dark Matter.
Yeah. If you're not murdering 60 chickens every time you sit down to eat, you're not really.
What are you doing with your life?
Yeah,
bro?
I'm not.
You want me to fucking?
If you're gonna put 60 breasts in my face, they better not be from chickens. I'll tell you that right now.
My favorite was the Rodizio, the Brazilian steakhouse, right?
Those are delicious.
When you sit down there and you count how many different types of animals are in your stomach when you leave. So you're like, you got
Billy and I
shrimp,
have-
octopus, pork, chicken, beef,
Billy and I have
lamb.
been to multiple restaurants, like all-you-can-eat style restaurants, and it never goes well because you get meat drunk.
Yeah.
You get like the feeling of being drunk. We've been to like these Mongolian hot pots where it's like a big bowl of soup and you cook the meat.
I love that shit.
Oh my god! You dip the raw meat in and it cooks in like a minute, literally.
It's like fucking fondue.
Yeah.
It's I absolutely fucking adore all of that shit. I'm a chef. by
There's a
trade,
ton
so-
of Asian people that live out here, so there's like Asian restaurants of all kinds here. Everywhere.
Yeah, I've heard though
the Korean fucking barbecue type places.
Oh
where
my
you
god, we go there too.
I've heard that people are starting to say it's
I love
cultural.
bulgogi.
People are saying it's cultural appropriation if you go out to eat at Asian restaurants and you're
I don't
not
give
Asian.
a fuck.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You're gonna get canceled.
Fuck
Then
them.
why do they have like New York style Chinese food?
That ironically hurts Asians who run those restaurants. I mean,
Cultural appropriation is not always a bad thing. Like it can be
No,
in
it's
some cases, but not when you're like buying the food of someone who wants people to come eat their food.
The people that run the Chinese little Chinese restaurant closest to my house are I want to say a brother sister team. They are fucking awesome hard workers, but it's the way they communicate with each other that makes me think brother sister, because there's no way that two people that love each other like beyond family.
Don't know.
Dude, I swear to God,
They could
I'll
hate
be in
each
the
other and
middle of
fuck
paying-
like rabbits
Dude.
later on when the restaurant closes.
TJ, what makes you think marriage is about love? Come on.
What I'm saying is that how to do this without it being held over my head is like a racist as shit thing. Look,
Hey to BCT
I'll be in the
Monday.
middle of paying.
It's going to suck
paying
major feminine Billy balls not getting my DP/tap fix. Au revoir for now, sweet boys.
Goose juice. No, don't leave us. Don't become a product of the government.
It's too late. We're
Damn
gonna
it.
miss
Look,
you.
I'll be in the middle of paying for my lo mein or whatever, and this lady will fucking like just nonchalantly look over her shoulder and scream at this man. They're
married.
Mandarin is not a like romantic language as when you would say. It's a very harsh language. It's not like it's like I don't know, like very fucking
gruff.
And she fucking barks at that guy, and the way
I guarantee you they're a couple. I guarantee you they're a couple.
I can't,
because he wouldn't let her
so
talk
bad.
to him that way if
and
they
you
weren't.
gotta cook the same like dishes to them they're butchering their mainland's dishes to make it like appealing to Americans. And so and you come over here, you move your whole family to give your kids a fucking better shot, and you know that the rest of your life will just be spent making the same fucking set of dishes in the same fucking location forever. But that's the sacrifice they make to give their kids a better opportunity. And then anyone has the nerve to say like, these fucking immigrants, well, like they just fucking milking the system. Like, dude, you haven't worked with people that like want to work. Apparently, it's my favorite thing ever. If I fucking get to work next to someone that like wants to bust their ass, because it means I don't have to fucking carry their slack. In fact, if they work hard enough, they might get to carry some of mine.
See, I disagree.
That's a bonus.
I disagree. My dad used to work himself into unemployment because he'd get the job done too soon, and so he'd just go. He'd send him to unemployment because he had no more work. He'd just push right through it. Like if you're union, you kind of got to slow roll it, or else you're gonna lose your damn job.
So I understand the idea of kind of milking it a little bit, but then there's the other thing of the all too true. You're driving through road construction, and there's 6 guys there, and one guy is digging a hole, and the other 5 are fucking standing around.
I see that all the time.
Entirely fucking like true. And so, like dragging it out is okay in certain circumstances. I guess it depends on your output. Because if your output is low and then you drag it out, then you're just basically useless. And you're costing the rest of us our fucking like effort. Those of us with a sense of responsibility and a work ethic. Like
Walter
I bust my
Lorman
ass. I work in a
asked if my
kitchen.
dad
There's
worked
no
for the post office. He did not work for the post office.
Oh, I was about to say but then
He was a ship fitter.
Ship fitter.
Yeah, he worked in the shipyards, cleaned up dirty ashes.
He got shanghaied. Billy is actually Chinese.
He did go. He did get shipped out to Shanghai a few times.
Yeah, but voluntarily.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Billy has talked about this multiple times, so I'm not like unleashing any info he hasn't. His dad was a very functional crackhead.
High functioning.
Yeah,
Impressive.
and the weird thing is he became a crackhead because weed was illegal. Weed stays in your system for like a month or more, but crack still only stays in your system for a few days. So he just started smoking crack because they're like, oh, you're going to lose your job if you keep smoking weed. And he's like, fine, I'll just smoke crack.
Yeah, he was a former alcoholic, but he got clean. So
weed is a gateway drug.
He needed
Dude,
something.
I had something very similar. I got busted for, I forget what it was, a fucking like a pot pipe or some shit.
Yeah.
But it was like my third
Paraphernalia is what they give you.
Paraphernalia.
Yep.
But anyway, they fucking it was like my third time in a few years. This is my young, like early 20s, so I was being whatever. But it was like my third time, and I just happened to be in front of the same judge all 3 times. And so on the third time, she's like, "I'm gonna teach you a lesson," and gave me 6 months of probation. Part of the probation was being drug tested and going to a counseling thing in which they also drug tested.
That's where you learn how to do drugs more in the counseling thing.
I basically gave up smoking weed because, like you said, it stays in your system too long. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to be able to beat that shit. And instead, what I turned to for me, what was the easiest solution was gin. And I would just drink gin and orange juice, my gin and juice, and it is delicious. But I was drinking like a bottle of gin and a half gallon of orange juice every fucking day. And I worked construction at the time, so I'd go to work the next day, and when I started sweating, I could smell the gin, and so could everyone the fuck else. And I'm like, okay, and it turned me into a real asshole too, which is ironic because I wasn't being an asshole when they caught me with paraphernalia. I was the passenger in a vehicle. You know, that it was absolutely ridiculous. I wasn't like being an asshole, but they chased me away from the calming thing and into the thing that turned me into an asshole and that almost chased away a bunch of my friends and shit before I was like, okay, no more gin.
Right.
And one of the other reasons I like gin was because I was into being super fit at the time. And it was like super low calorie.
Yeah.
Super low calorie and getting my vitamin C. Like orange juice is like high sugar or whatever, but I can burn that shit off, blah, blah, blah.
Most straight liquor is very low calorie.
Yeah, dude, straight liquor and diet soda is, you know, a dietitian alcoholic recipe. But, I mean, as I get older and my tolerance kind of goes down a little bit, I get to be a little bit of a cheaper date, I guess you could say. I'm enjoying it because it's like, man, because with beer especially, usually, unlike the end of the last show, I know my limitations. I feel where I'm like, this is the level of buzz I want to be at, and I can like stay at that level if I want. With liquor, it's like, this is where I want to be. Oh my God, I'm too far. And I'm like, I'm having a hard time. I'm doing the one eye to like fucking focus on shit. I'm like, this is not a fun drunk at this point. Yeah, dude, it's the worst. Even like as a passenger in a vehicle, and they're like, is this your exit? And I'm like, hold on.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Liquor's
Take
so
this
much
exit.
more fun, though.
Ugh. Liquor's quicker.
Exactly. Let's
That's
go
for
hard.
sure.
I remember I was
guess it's
celebrating
like-
a
it's
girl's
like the-
abortion, and and her and I just drank so much hard alcohol, and within like an hour, we were both puking everywhere. But it was nice.
Is anyone here old enough to remember regs? Like
I'm 40.
Regs?
What's regs though?
Okay, so like there's here it was Larry and Regs and Larry and Reggie. So Larry was if you called up your weed guy and you wanted fucking basically good shit, crippy, like that high end fucking like good flour. You would be like, hey, let me get a quarter of Larry. But if you wanted some cheap ass commercial seeds and stems bullshit like Mexican dirt weed, you would say, let me just get an ounce of fucking Reggie.
Okay.
That was the fucking
So like
lingo. Okay,
where
so
I'm from, we call
Regs.
that middies.
Middies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every location has something different.
Samson. Fly me to the moon like that bitch Alice Cramden. Because it's tough being black and gifted.
I remember here the cheap shit weed was called Bammer weed.
Was it
Wait,
Bammer?
It was Bammer. They're like, this is
Dark
Bammer
matter-
weed.
Yeah.
What was
I still
Ben
only,
just quoting?
I still only understand 20%.
Yeah, exactly. So, no. God damn it! You're supposed to let him do it because he sucks at all of this.
Oh,
Every time you
okay.
quote a movie or a song lyric or whatever, he's like, "Oh." He's the more boomer of all of us. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yes,
Dark
Cuban B.
Yeah, it's it's half baked, and that's a fantastic lyric.
Yep.
It's of course I'm from Jamaica. Where else would I
Mr.
be
Nice
wearing
Guy.
this hat? Yeah. Where from Jamaica are you from? He's like right near the beach.
Oh my God.
Bye.
My
Not a
tweets
mercy.
got retweeted by Fat Shack.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh my God. We have this restaurant in Seattle. It's nationwide, but it's like New Jersey style stuffed deep fried sandwiches where they take like a hoagie roll.
Did you take a picture of yours?
I didn't.
Oh my God.
You know what? You can't eat in the place right now. They're
Yeah.
not letting you eat in. We
Yeah.
tried to eat and they're like, no, get the fuck out. So, and me as the American ambassador with these other foreigners, I was like, sorry guys, Americans are rude as
Did
fuck.
you guys have a car?
No, we walked from their hotel to Fat Shack.
You walked to Fat Shack from
It's
the
not
hotel?
that far, dude.
Far enough.
Far enough for you.
Exactly. I'm not going to walk to Fat Shack.
No, we walked there
you walk
because
back?
we can actually. Yeah, we walked, dude. People can walk.
Not with a giant sandwich in your stomach.
No, actually, they were all like, I'm glad we walked because we ate this fucking. Dude, people walk. I'm sorry, Billy. You don't walk, people walk.
I don't believe that.
Oh,
That's
well,
a myth.
fuck. Well, sorry.
Sounds like some Christian bullshit to me.
No, people walk.
Yeah. No, dude. He's like, and it's a Bible passage when Jesus rode his rascal across the water.
Yeah.
The prophet Bill rode his grandmama's rascal up the hill, and it died, and he had to pick it up and carry
He
it.
had to drive the rascal back because he'd just eaten 2 fish and a loaf of bread.
The good news is you can
Loaves of the
coast back
fishes.
downhill on the way home. What are you guys smoking right now?
Oh my God, I have. He doesn't smoke too much, but I have this shit because our shit's very well branded here. It's a sativa.
So that's my favorite is sativas for sure. I actually have 2 hybrids and an indica right now. My indica is Upside Down Dreams, which is a 20%. And then I've got 2 hybrids, a Renegade OG, which is 20.
This is
22%.
24%.
This one, Renegade OG is 22, and the Runaway that I have here is a measly 18. But we've got oil downstairs that is like fucking 88.
I love
it's
how
ridiculous.
I just want to call this out because I see him in the chat all the time, and he's a cool guy. Jonathan, I guess his name is Jonathan Boo Boo.
Boo Boo.
He's our French Canadian viewer. He like sets the standard. He's not JF. Okay, he's better. He's the anti JF.
He only has sex with women who are readily intelligent.
Yes.
Jesus
He's like,
Christ.
what?
I was wondering how you were going to word that, and I was not disappointed.
Yeah, I'm like, what's the opposite of retarded?
God damn it.
I only
feel
ever
so
say the
bad.
R word if I put that spin at the
You know what?
A.
I was raised because of the last names in my family to think that I was French Canadian, but I learned that it's on both sides of my family too. I learned that when people moved to Quebec at the time, they changed their names just like in America to like French, like the French version of their names. And most of them were Irish and Scottish, my family, but when they moved to Eastern Canada, when it was a French settlement, they like Frenchified their name, Frankified.
Kind of like how Ellis Island Americanized everybody.
That's a little bit of a myth, though, from what I've looked into.
Oh.
Yes. Like, they changed their own names to assimilate, mostly, as far as I know.
Which, by the way, is not a bad idea in some cases, because some names are a lot it's just going to be more difficult for you.
Right.
And it's not that your name is bad, it's that people are dumb.
Yeah.
And it's way easier to just appease the dumb people. It will save you so much headache. Your name is beautiful no matter what the fuck it is. It doesn't really matter, man. Unless I actually did know a kid named Truck Driver.
No,
that's not a beautiful
name. Do you remember
name,
the whole
still.
thing where like the parents were mad that they named their kid Adolf Hitler, and like the cake place wouldn't make a birthday cake that said "Happy Birthday, Adolf Hitler"?
Which, by the way, you'll know this. What is Adolf Hitler's birthday?
Oh, 420, of course.
See, you fucking Nazi.
What?
All right. No, I'm cutting this off right now. We are going into one of our segments. It's antagonism. Here we go.
Oh, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Yeah, they're going to touch me.
What would Hitler's voice sound like if you were fucking him?
You are basically me by fucking me this way.
True.
You know, everyone's like, you're basically Hitler.
About your genetics.
Yeah, you are not the Ubermensch. All right, I'm going to show you guys. I just downloaded this. I am so bad. Tell me what you think of this video, guys.
Oh, God.
Kyle is free starting soon.
Was the pedo's name? Yeah, Rosenbaum. That's what I meant to say. Rosenbaum, I said, or whatever. Yeah, Rosenbaum. Yeah, that guy. That fucking short little dude with the bald head, and he fucking like got out of the hospital. Oh, probably got out of psych ward, or yeah, they released him on.
This is the guy that was calling me fat like a year ago. Looks like he packed on a couple.
I don't know.
Dude, I haven't seen it. I didn't know he was still doing things.
He pokes his head out every now and then.
So what? So this is one of those cases.
This
it
is
looks
like
he's
hooray, Kyle Rittenhouse is not guilty. Is
okay. Wait a second. For someone that pokes their head out occasionally, he's got a hell of a setup here.
Oh yeah. Well,
like it looks like you dropped all your. Oh God.
He also has a model AR-15, a mini AR-15 on top of one of those computer towers.
If I'm not mistaken, that is the one that you can actually disassemble.
Oh wow!
Like properly disassemble. Yeah. If it's like a true model without the actual firing pin and shit.
Nerds. Gun nerds.
Oh, by the way, your opinion on the Rittenhouse thing, real quick, before we get into
my personal opinion is it was self-defense. I pretty much I had different opinions before the trial, but I looked at the evidence in the trial, and I think he was attacked. He shouldn't have been there, but that doesn't matter when it comes to self-defense. You don't question how the person who defended themselves got there necessarily.
You kind of do. Like in the Trayvon Martin case, George Zimmerman literally chased down Trayvon Martin.
He was
to
told
the point
not
where
to by the
by
police when he called him in.
But he like followed him, chased him down, and then confronted him. And then when he got his ass kicked by a fucking teenager, then he pulled out a gun and shot him. So like, I guess that does matter because it's a self-defense situation. You literally put yourself in 100%. You were not. You were no one. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And so we're basically setting a new precedent where you can.
Yeah, TJ's froze up a little bit.
He said there's a new precedent, and where you can freeze up
He'll
mid
come back
conversation.
for a minute here, but Dark Matter's still here, so we know where our connection's still secure. Do you have a take on this, Dark Matter?
I think maybe TJ was going to go with something like a precedent where you can kind of look for trouble and find it and still get a self-defense.
He was looking for trouble. I believe he wasn't there to help injured people. He wasn't there to put out fires. He went there with a gun looking for an opportunity to shoot a person. That's my belief.
He had his little med kit, so he was willing to go either way.
But he didn't start the attack. People attacked him, and it was within his right to defend himself.
He
That's
was
how
walking
I feel.
away. He was walking away from the entire situation, and people kept advancing on him and reaching for his gun. I don't know that. The last thing you do if you're holding a gun is give it up to anybody, right?
Now he has a choice. Yeah. Is he going to become this figure for the right and get propped up? He could make a career out of it, you know?
I mean, he could very easily. Yeah. He'll have opportunity. He'll have ample opportunity to do that.
Yeah, which is weird because I want him to regret this decision, not think it was the best decision of his life.
I mean, I think he probably regrets.
Not if he gets rich off of it. If he's on Tucker next week, and then in a year from now he has his own show on Fox News, he's not going to regret it.
That would be pretty lit. Kids Corner on Fox News. Hi, I'm Kyle Rittenhouse. Guess what I did? I did a couple murders, but it was self-defense.
It's not technically a murder.
I killed a couple people, but everything I say, anytime someone dies, I call it a murder. I don't care how. If you died of old age, it was a murder.
Yeah, that's not a murder.
That's what I say.
Well, you don't understand what the word means then.
If he does develop, celebrity over this, he kind of already is. But like, if it's lucrative for him, I mean, that could be, that could be seen as a legitimate way to like a legit career path is, go out and do some crazy shit, go out and look for trouble and then, shoot some people. I mean, it seems like setting a pretty bad example.
I think we need to get we need a federal ban on open carry because when you see someone with a gun, you become hostile. If you have a gun concealed, you're more likely to pull it out. I think open carry is a problem. It causes more hostility.
I don't know. I think if you see someone with a gun, you should not be hostile. You should be very fucking docile. You should recognize they have a gun.
Well, that's not what happens, though. So what you think is bullshit.
This is what happened. Most people didn't advance. The people who have a criminal history of making, putting themselves in the privacy and protection of other people, taking advantage of other people's safety, were the ones that advanced. You could say from a psychological profile that people who advanced were kind of fucking crazy to begin with.
Yeah,
most people didn't.
Look, I guess that's a fair point, but at the same time, like the fight or flight instinct or whatever, I don't think has a whole lot necessarily to do with certain. I mean, I'm not a fucking criminal psychologist or by any stretch, but if I am in an outside area hanging out with like a few people that I know or whatever, and I hear gunshots ring out, I'm not exactly sure what my fucking response would be. But if I saw what I looked to be an active shooter that I could like charge up from behind and tackle or something like that, like I had that angle or whatever the case may be, I don't know if I would take that or not. Anyone that says like I would do this like before they're in that situation is full of shit. But I don't know what I would do. I would like to think that I would do something kind of heroic or whatever, but the thought of me trying to charge an active shooter and him shooting me and then finding out that he shot someone else because they like threatened him, but I didn't know that when I freaking charged in, and then they go back and they're like, this guy was arrested for paraphernalia.
Yeah.
He done deserved it. Like that's some bullshit.
He was a criminal. He deserved it.
That's like, hey, you made a mistake in your past, so you deserve everything that ever happens to you, bad, including murder in the future. No.
You know how you are the hero in that situation? You drape your body over the women and children around you that can't run away quick enough. You get everybody away. You don't go after the guy with the fucking gun.
So let's distinguish open carry what it is. Open carry is you have the gun out on your hip, around your shoulder. It's not concealed. I'm cool with concealed carry. If you have a gun like down your back or down your crotch or like on your sides or on your hip, hidden, no one knows you have it.
But essentially you're saying that you can't have your AR-15 anywhere.
Exactly. You can't.
And you know what? In America, though, like I highly doubt most people feel comfortable with someone like that around.
Actually, I got a fun story, Dark Matter. I hate to interrupt you, but this literally happened today. Got text messages about this today. In my neighborhood, there was a fucking firefight between two teenagers with fucking guns, like a few streets over, who apparently shot at each other, ended up running into the same house and barricading themselves in there from the cops. The SWAT team was there, like 4 different jurisdictions, the fucking like entire shebang. Now, does anyone feel safer? Is the idea of everyone being armed make anyone really feel safer? That's like saying give everyone a driver's license, it'll make the road safer. Like that's the dumbest fucking idea.
The saying that one of the dumbest sayings is an armed society is a polite society, and like America is the most impolite society and the most armed society.
I treat everyone I meet as if they are potentially armed, and that makes me avoid any type of conflict that goes over with them. Like I assume they could possibly have a gun every time.
And I will tell you, like I used to be a self-defense instructor back in the 20th century, and I will tell you that 99% of self-defense is conflict avoidance. It's not even getting into a confrontation in the first place. It's knowing what to look for, knowing what to avoid before it happens.
Being able to talk your way out of it, even if it's like something that because it's not important enough. I'm a big guy, so whenever I would go out, you'd get the drunk little idiot that wanted to take on the big guy to prove how tough he was.
That happens.
And I dealt with that so many times, and I would 9 times out of 10 be able to talk this guy out of it and buy him a fucking beer and just fucking like, shoot the shit and become buddies or whatever. And he can be buddies with a tall guy instead of having to prove how fucking tough he is or some shit like that.
Smack him in the face one time.
That is some insecure manlet bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't need to be like fucking. I know I can kick your ass. I don't need to do it. Like
sober him up once, just one pop in the chin, sober him up.
I've done that plenty of times. as well.
I'm sorry, man. I'm just drunk.
One of my favorite moves is to just like fucking do a quick sweep, like with your hand on their chest, and like just push them down on the ground. They're fucking flat on their back, and you say you want to keep going. And again, 9 times out of 10, they'll be like, "Nope." Because I've already got you fucking prone. Like you don't. I don't need to be like Billy Badass all the time. I don't need to insert myself into situations that are not my fucking business because I'm fucking big. Like I don't need to do any of that.
No.
But if I do see like 5 guys trying to beat the piss out of one guy, I don't like, if it's that bad, call the cops if he did something to you that bad. If not, you're just gonna fucking kill this guy. And I'm not gonna just go in swinging. But if it's being ridiculous, yeah.
Some people just want to fight.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that just want to be violent. They enjoy their black eyes and their bruises and shit. Like I'm not one of them.
Yeah, when you were doing,
hate get stitches.
When
and
Billy
shit,
was
man.
doing his IRL streams, we got charged on by some random dude. Do you remember that in Capitol Hill?
Probably. It's been happening. It happened a lot.
I think it was like your sister's an idiot. Like you were like your sister's an idiot or something like that.
He was like, "That's my sister," because I'm pretty sure because she like took my camera and like pushed it.
We got into weird hostile situations.
I was like, "Don't touch my fucking camera." The guy goes, "That's my sister." I was like, "Well, your sister's a fucking idiot."
Yep. Yeah.
Keep her hand off my fucking camera.
And then he was like, "Oh!"
And I was
he
like,
came at us like the Incredible Hulk. He was big though. He was
so am I.
Yeah. I just, but she stopped him.
Yeah, of course she
my
stopped
number
him.
one determining factor in whether I really want to fight or not is if I can look you square in the face, that's already pretty bad enough because I'm big. But if I have to like look up to you at all, man, I'm like second guessing. I'm like, maybe my mother is a stupid whore.
Look, my mom's always a stupid whore, but never when somebody else says it.
All right, I'm
love you, Mama.
I'm gonna speed up live life here.
Try to commit suicide or something like that. That's the word.
I gotta hear.
And the guy was a psycho. Like, kill me, man. Shoot me, man. Shoot me, man. He just, it's like suicide by cop. You know what I mean? That's basically what happened to Rosenbaum.
No,
basically suicide.
No, he wasn't a fucking cop, you idiot.
By cop, but
He's saying it's the equivalent of suicide by cop because he walked up to a guy with a gun and tried to take the gun out of his
That's what
hand.
I'm saying. I'm saying it's not. He wasn't a fucking cop.
Well, yeah, the idea is that when you do
I
suicide
understand
by
what
cop,
he's saying, but he's a fucking idiot. That's what I'm saying.
I guess.
it ended up being
Suicide by wannabe medic.
hands of Kyle
Suicide
right
by
now,
wannabe
but,
cop.
yeah. Hey, it is what it is. He met his fate, and I think Tucker Carlson said it the best. I forget exactly the verbiage.
How many true statements started with Tucker Carlson said it the best?
That's just
Bro.
completely washed.
You don't expect anything, dude.
So
look,
is he
poor
still
Joe-
desperately milking Devin Tracy's dick?
No. Poor Joe. He goes wherever he can get the attention and people to like stroke his ego. That's where he goes. And so where he got that originally was from a 6-part, I believe, series that he did. It's like Why I Divorced My Christian Wife or some shit like that.
Oh God.
And he went into great detail about like her and her family, blah blah blah. But he got like some attention out of that. So he started going with like the secular community where he was getting the attention from. And he went with that for a while. And then he was getting a lot of attention by supporting AIU, Devin Tracy. And so he went with that. And then when, he chased away everybody that didn't like AIU. And then AIU and his cronies turned on Joe. Joe had nowhere left to go. And he just kind of disappeared for a while. But he still knows that the right wingers are the most fervent supporters of other right wingers.
So he's
whereas
not
the
genuine at all, is what you're saying. There's not a genuine bone in his body.
Oh no, I think he genuinely believes this stuff at this point, but only because he's convinced himself to.
I showed you how he busted his fucking knuckles.
Yeah,
because he was mad at me. I made him
he's
so
genuine.
mad he broke his own hands, punching his microphone.
What was he so mad about? I forgot. What
I was just making fun of him. I was like, "You're an idiot." Like I was like, "Hey, you're an idiot, buddy," and he was like, "Oh, I'll fight you, Ben." And he's like beating the fuck out of his microphone and making his knuckles bleed. I'm like, good job, buddy. You showed me.
How's about
Here
this?
for that dark matter? I'm the stoner, and I remember that.
Yeah,
Suicide by cock.
But
That sounds like
Tucker Carlson said, well, he met his fate. I don't know what he said. He said he met his fate at a
Tucker
youth.
Carlson said it best. I don't know what he said. What the fuck,
minor. I don't know. Whatever it was. You guys probably know the fucking quote. But it was all over fucking the internet when he said that, and everybody's like, "Oh, how dare he?" Well, it's the truth, you know what I mean? The truth is the truth. You know, because
you didn't say what he said. You haven't said what he said. You can't. It was all over the internet, but he can't remember it.
Chuck Carlson said it best, and I don't even know what the fuck he said, so I'm just going to tell you it's the truth.
But people are real upset about it, and they're just reactionary. I don't know what it was said, but it was reactionary. So
yeah, we said it best. I don't know what he said, but it's the truth.
They're just regressives.
Like, yeah, seriously, like talking points to the point of like, I don't even know what I'm talking about, but these words I'm saying will apply to it regardless.
Everyone go back to TJ's channel, Coctopus Prime, watch Regressive Obsessive. It's one of my favorite videos. Honestly.
You
call them all out. Yep. And this was in the height of Devin Tracy being like, oh, what? I'm just pointing out statistics.
And he kept trying to. He came back with like 4 or 5 of his channels trying to comment on that, and I just kept blocking him because that was always his argument. He used to shit on Steve Shives. He's like, this guy just blocks everybody,
right?
And then fucking turn around and be like, this is my living room,
right?
I could block it. You don't have to. I don't have to let you in my living room. I'm like, dude, it's the same thing. You want to go even one further? Go back on Live Life's channel and find there was a live stream where they're all just stroking each other. And I was just kind of watching it, and I was like, yo, can I get on this live stream? And they let me in, and I watched for a little bit.
I watched that.
Actually, towards the very end, what happened was my family came home, and I was like already heated, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to just help unload the car or whatever.
And I ended up leaving. Here, I will ban him. Because he's a regressive.
Dude, it was, I don't know. I've always just said what the fuck I thought, whether it cost me fucking views or subs or whatever. I just don't, that I'm so far beyond trying to be like some like clickbaity, like making a living off the shit. And I'll give credit to Dark Matter as well, because he's been successful doing this YouTube shit, and he stayed true to himself as well. He doesn't shy away. He doesn't go in the direction of what he thinks will get him more popularity.
Right. He doesn't
stays
need to.
true to himself. And I appreciate, and I can sleep at night.
I've been watching his animations since the early days. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, he's a piece of shit. Don't get me wrong. But he's not a grifter. So I'll give him that.
Yeah.
You talk about people's fallings in life. You know what I mean? When they've been convicted of certain crimes.
I'm just waiting for him to say situation individual here any second. He should be laying in his belly, on his belly in a dirty bedroom now.
Is it just the reflection of his glasses, or is he cross-eyed?
He is live life keen.
It's okay to bring them up because that's the type of person they are. Like, we can get a good idea on who a person is and how a person is, or what a person does to others, knowing their past. So that's what Tucker.
But they literally didn't let into the Rittenhouse trial all the shit from his past, or what happened after the trial when he met up with like a white supremacist group at a fucking bar and did photo ops with them and shit. And like they didn't allow any of that in the trial.
You know,
Did it have anything to do with the actual murder, though?
Here's the thing, though.
You're probably right, and I'm not saying it should have necessarily, but all of that, when you look at it from an outside perspective, paints a kind of different picture than what the jury probably got in that trial.
When you're the prosecutor, your job is to capitulate to the judge and the jury. This prosecutor was a jackass. He pissed off the judge.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the judge, by the way, would totally acted in the defense's interest multiple times. I don't know if you guys saw that, like twice the judge's cell phone rang and interrupted the proceedings. And you know what his cell phone ring was? The fucking Trump campaign theme. Twice.
And that's fine.
Twice.
Like, whatever. I mean, I feel he was fair in some ways, but the prosecutor didn't do himself any favors.
It's the same as the Casey Anthony case. I don't know how closely you guys followed that. But
I know
live
about
here
that.
in Florida. I mean, you might know about it, but
Casey
I
lives in
and, like,
Ohio
watch
now.
it. Yeah, there you go.
Where I grew up. She lives in Columbus, Ohio now.
Dude, so I watched the case very closely, and I was like, this prosecution sucks. They suck so bad that when the prosecutor wrote a book about it afterwards, I didn't buy it outright, but I found it secondhand, and I fucking read the book because I was like, this guy fucked up so bad. I want to hear his explanation. And the entire explanation was like, it basically, I suck. And and I'm like, God, this was such an easy, open and shut fucking basic shit. And they didn't even charge her correctly in order to so that when the top, they only went for like the top charges. So when they fell through, there was nothing else. And they just gave her time served for lying to the cops. This bitch literally took them to Universal Studios, took the cops to the Universal Studios claiming she worked there, knowing she never worked there, and was taking them through hallways and no, this is the office. No, this is the office. And it was like the wrong room every time, just completely lying, trying to hide the fact of where her child was. And she got off with time served for lying to the cops because the prosecution was so inept.
Yeah.
Just infuriating. Fucking infuriating when someone is obviously guilty and the prosecution is the one that fails to fucking prove that. I'm not saying that's necessarily the case here with Rittenhouse,
allegedly,
but it's been shown over and over. This prosecution definitely, with the Rittenhouse trial, definitely sucked. I'm not saying that it necessarily would have changed the outcome or maybe would have led to a hung jury or something like that, but it is disgusting to watch. You can plainly see as a fucking idiot.
I feel with the evidence I saw that it was self-defense. I don't like him. I don't like his views. I don't think he should have been there. I don't think
I tend to agree with you, Ben.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I feel about it.
The guy was definitely attacked at some fucking point. He's fucking got an AR on him. You've got to be a fucking idiot to run up on someone like that.
It was an M15, right? It was an M15, not an AR.
Well, whatever it is. You got a skateboard. He has a rifle. Why would you run up on him? He got killed.
There's brave and there's dumb.
Yeah.
There's definitely a difference. Crazy and stupid.
Carlson was taken advantage of when it came to this Rosenbaum dude or whatever his name is. You know what I mean? He was a pedophile. He was a fucking...
Yeah, I hate this. Even if he was, that doesn't matter. He wasn't trying to molest Rittenhouse.
Yeah, and Kyle Rittenhouse did not look up his fucking his rap sheet before shooting him. Just to be clear here, that if that point keeps being brought up, if the guy had been a fucking a guy that donated 100% of his time to charities, that wouldn't make a difference at all to Joe.
Right.
Here. It's only a point because he has a rap sheet, and so that makes it justifiable somehow.
Even if he had been convicted of that, he was out of jail, so he's served his time. It's like that doesn't mean it's okay for you to kill him.
Dude, this guy shot. It's like they did with George Floyd. He had it was a fake $20 bill, or he had domestic violence or some shit in the past or whatever. It's like, dude, you don't. That's not the point. If you're saying that, if that's what you're talking about, I'm already distrusting you to the point of thinking this guy is innocent because you're dragging up his past in order to justify what happened to him now. And unless it's directly correlated, like in my past, if in dude's past he molested this kid and then in the future the kid's dad did something, then it's directly related. If it's just like this dude shoplifted when he was 6 and then the cops shot him when he was 27, that's not a direct relation.
He was a criminal.
Yeah. Dude, he had it in his blood to be a bad person, and someone was eventually going to shoot him in the face. Get out of here.
Scumbag.
Stupid.
A scumbag that deserved death. Sorry, but it's true.
Sorry, not
so.
sorry.
I want to watch this video.
A scumbag that deserved
It has
death.
over 1 million views in 5 hours. And I agree with Crowder on a lot of things, most things. I mean,
God.
Yeah. Do you hear this?
I agree with Crowder on a lot of things.
This was the host of the
most things.
Skeptic Fence Show.
Now
Crowder
it's
and Tucker. I don't
Crowder,
get it.
Tucker. I'm sure that fucking Shapiro will be next.
I don't get it.
I think
Why?
Tucker said it best.
Well, he might not agree with Shapiro because, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because Shapiro doesn't like rap music.
That's it. Yes.
Yeah.
It's because if Joe had a girlfriend, her pussy would also not be wet.
Was it a vaccination and shit like that?
My doctor wife.
But,
Honey, there's
other
something
than that, I
wrong.
think,
Your
this was a really good
vagina's wet. Oh,
stream. I
yeah,
only
the
watched
mailman's
maybe
over.
about 20 minutes, half an hour of it today. And he actually watches it live, and the reaction is amazing. And the reaction from his father crying. And I'll be honest with you guys, I watched the verdict live. And when I watched the verdict live at work, I heard, I had it in the background.
He's working
and I heard,
so hard. He's working so hard for his big income. Watching the Rittenhouse fucking trial.
I loved it how he when he was punching the microphone, he was talking about how he made all this money, and then sent
Judge
me a
Kyle,
link.
jury,
oh, shit.
and executioner. I am the
there
law.
yet?
I am the law.
He sent me a a link to an Instagram model that he said was his girlfriend and shit. It was so cringy, man.
It had the watermark on it still.
Dude, look, Joe has always been cringe. I put up with it. Originally, when he asked me to join the Skeptic Fence show, it was only meant to be for the Cooter Report. I don't know if you remember that.
I remember.
They did it. I did a section on it where it was a 5-minute clip during one of the breaks or whatever, where it was the Cooter Report, and I would do a report on the dumbest shit I'd seen that week or that within that 2 weeks or whatever. But he wrote me in because he was short on fucking hosts to be a host on it, and I was only going to do it temporarily, but he kept getting these guests that I was it was kind of fun. I don't know how he did it. He had Lawrence Krauss.
Yeah,
and
Lawrence
fucking,
Krauss, huge.
By the way, what the fuck happened to David Silverman?
Oh, he's another one. Yeah.
What the fuck? That is.
I'm also for years I've been buddies with Jimmy Dore too. Jimmy Dore is kind of, he's.
They're all great men.
He's full gone, but David Silverman is Proud Boys.
I know
racist,
David too.
I took a picture with Dave Silverman in a fucking hotel at DC during the Reason
I'll
rally.
tell you what it was
is
my feeling with Dave is he was totally ostracized by the left, so he totally embraced the right.
That's exactly what I told you happened with Joe here.
Yeah.
He got ostracized by the left, but
Joe wasn't accused of sexual assault and shit like that.
No, he was accused of being an idiot.
Yeah,
he was accused of being an idiot, and
yes.
and he's easy to pick apart. He's just easy, and it. I take no pleasure in picking Joe apart, but he won't just keep his dumb fucking mouth shut, and the shit that early, I think Tucker Carlson said it best. I forget what he said. Holy shit, dude. At least have the fucking common you can't think. You're playing checkers at that point. You can't think 2 steps ahead of I can't remember what he said. Maybe I shouldn't bring up this fucking point until I remember it or look it up.
I don't know any of the points these people make, but I will say I believe all their points. I can't remember them. I can't recall them. But just
guy was a pedophile.
Point to Crowder or
Billy's using his extra fat voice too.
Yeah, it's my fat voice.
No. If he was going extra fat, it's got to be the.
He's choking on his own neck fat.
Frank Dank says, seems like it's legal to be a vigilante as long as you claim self-defense. It is legal to be a vigilante as long as you can make it look like you were defending yourself.
That's pretty much the fact.
Kyle Kalinske, or what's his name? Kyle Rittenhouse.
Oh, Jesus.
One of the two Kyles. If one of the two Kyles went out with a fucking gun in public and somebody advanced on either of those two Kyles and they shot and killed them during the advancement, and you could say that you were self-defending, then yeah, it is legal. It always has been legal. It's legal to carry. It's legal to go out. It's legal to patrol. That's why my buddy pal Phoenix Jones, Seattle superhero, would go out looking for trouble, but he wouldn't go out with a gun.
Let me paint a scenario for you, and I actually wish Ben was maybe I should wait for Ben because I have an awesome scenario for you in which I think that you might have trouble making it so black and white. You might have to find a gray area that you agree with. I guess I'll just re-explain it to Ben when he gets back real quick. So imagine a scenario in which multiple defenders are out there, some with paintball guns and some with real guns, right? And a couple of the guys with the paintball guns shoot some protesters, and protesters are going down and like screaming in pain or whatever. And so some of the other protesters advance upon the paintball people, but then the people with real guns take that as a threat and shoot them like to death. Is that where my question is basically where is it that we draw the line between like you're not
don't approach people with guns. Don't reach for somebody's gun.
Approaching them. You're not approaching anybody. You're literally paintball people are just shooting people without being approached.
Yeah.
Here, let me start over real quick since Ben is just
I think Tucker Carlson said it best.
By the way, this is just me being stoned and trying to create a scenario. I'm not trying to,
Yeah, and sober Billy is going to break the scenario down in the best way possible.
Because has it not happened yet?
Oh, we've passed the time limit. Zero chugs of White Claw. The Claw game was a miserable failure. Miserable failure.
Damn.
The Claw machine.
Maybe I need to step in and I will chug along with Billy, and that will make the difference.
It's over now. I had to get everything in before 7:30 p.m. It's 7:41 p.m.
It's over now.
Zero
but
chugs.
If you make enough money, you can't get a fucking Uber.
I'm not going to leave my car here. It's my weekend.
But if you make enough money, you can get an Uber back.
I don't need. I'm not paying for no Uber. Look, it's the weekend. I got holes to fill. We're fine.
Right, I don't know if you've heard of this yet, Billy, but it's also called. There's a thing called walking.
Not me.
Not in his world. There's not.
Yeah, there's a thing called Christopher Walken, and I don't want to go watch any of his movies either.
He is a lot.
Christopher Walken supposedly got his style is he went through his scripts and took all the punctuation out. That's what I heard.
Wow.
My speaker going a little bit. I'm like,
we were gonna
check it.
We were gonna have a scenario. I thought are we throwing away the paintball scenario that you were bringing up?
Oh yeah, no. The scenario is this. I was trying to create a scenario which would make it a little more difficult to be totally on one side or the other. So we've seen people. Are you serious, Ben?
Yeah. Never mind. We're moving on from it.
I'll tell you what I think.
All right, tell me in this weird paintball scenario, because we've seen both the paintball and the air rifle airsoft guys patrolling the streets and the guys with the real guns. And if someone is pointing an airsoft gun at me and I don't know the difference, if it's dark or whatever and I can't tell if it's a real fucking gun or not, or if they're firing off real paintballs or whatever the case may be, that makes it like you're almost inciting shit to happen at that point. And when shit happens to you that you incited, then you can claim self-defense. That's like, I punched you in the mouth. If somebody's shooting you with
paintballs or an air gun or another non-lethal gun, go the other way. Run away.
You don't know that when you hear the friggin' like you understand, like you're in a crowded situation, and when people are just like getting hit and going or that's it's not as easy to tell whether it's
don't go towards the gun if you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't think anyone is saying like everyone charge towards that. I'm saying for someone, let's say, that has a shot to like disarm a person that they perceive as opening fire on a crowd.
Yeah,
and then someone else that
if you think you have the shot
getting tackled, like I'm tackling a guy with an airsoft gun because I didn't know it was an airsoft gun, but when I tackle him, I get shot for real by a guy with a fucking AR because he sees me tackling his buddy that had the the airsoft gun.
If you aren't lethal, right? If you have no lethal threat, he can't just shoot you in self-defense if you're going to tackle his friend when you're not you don't have a gun. Like, you're not a lethal threat. So
None
you
of the people
advancing
Kyle
on,
Rittenhouse, like Kyle
All right.
Rittenhouse,
they were
shot
reaching
people
for
who
his
didn't have a
gun. That's
We
that's
are
where the self-defense
we
comes
are
into play.
interrupting this argument temporarily to bring you this important announcement. I will do frat boy style beer bongs.
Oh shit!
I only have 3 beers left. I'll do 3 of them for every $20 donation. Send in a full-on $20 donation and be like, Ben, do a beer bong, and I will do it. I will drink a whole beer in like 10 seconds with it. Go ahead. Anyway,
Bro,
sorry
you
for
only have
interrupting.
3 beers, but Billy has a bunch of White Claws.
Oh, I'll drink those too. I'll drink them all
Those are
until I'm
mine.
dead.
Those are my White
Okay.
Claws. I bought them for me. They're going to sit in that fridge forever.
I apologize for my terrible scenario. Sorry.
Yes.
Ontario.
Yes.
But
Apologies
it's,
accepted.
Yeah, it's my I guess the overall point is like, where is the line drawn between like when we're just like, guy with the gun just had to shoot him.
I think the line
Like-
is very clear that you have to have a perceived threat, physical threat for your life. And if someone's advancing on you when you have a gun and you're not pointing it at them and they're advancing on you, that gives you the feeling that they're not afraid of your gun. So they're going to try and take it from you. And once
Maybe-
they take your gun, they have a gun and they don't fear you. So they will probably try and kill you, right?
I mean, if you haven't, it's a little different than a handgun when you have an AR like literally strapped around yourself. Like, it's not as easy to take away. And if you felt like it was going to be taken away and you were like any decent with a gun, you could freaking just drop the magazine and at least fucking take that, that
if
extra
it's you
threat
versus
away.
potentially like 20 people, 30 people who are all coming towards you and you have to run away and you are running away and they're coming trying to stop you and pull you away, there's a whole difference here than someone advancing on somebody and then their friend gunning them down.
I agree. I also think there's a big difference between if that happened in my neighborhood or if I traveled my ass to somewhere volatile to impose myself into that situation. Like, if that happened in my neighborhood and I had to defend my neighbors, that's one thing. If I have to fucking travel my ass to another state to impose myself into a fucking what I know is like could be hostile situation with a fucking like loaded gun that I keep strapped around myself and shit, then you're literally putting yourself into a situation in which you're going to have the excuse of self-defense because you almost knew that
And
like some shit was going to happen.
I would say I think a lot of those people there that night, including the ones that were shot, were putting themselves in a situation where they were looking for
Absolutely.
trouble as well.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately,
I'm not-
everybody found trouble.
Yep.
I think
absolutely.
the
I'm not
majority of
excusing
people
their
there were
behavior
looking
here.
for trouble. These guys, the one guy, I think the first guy that got shot and killed, wasn't he threatening Kyle earlier in the night? Wasn't he in his face earlier in the day saying he was going to fucking kill Kyle or something? Wasn't there more of a story to it? That guy, there was video of him threatening Kyle earlier, so Kyle felt like he had to legitimately feel threatened by this guy already. Like there's
I'll be honest with you. I don't know like the inner details of every fucking aspect of it, but I know the basics of it, and the basics of it still scream like, you're putting yourself in a situation where you feel like you need to defend yourself that you wouldn't have been in if you didn't put yourself in the situation. So at that point, you're like just like Zimmerman, you're putting yourself in a situation, and now you can't handle it. And now you have to shoot people to get out of the situation you put yourself into.
Yeah.
And it's a weird, like that's fine. Like that. I guess I'm not saying he has to be guilty, but should we not just like Matt Gaetz is going to give him an internship. He's going to be on Tucker Carlson. He's going to be fucking like on like, he's
that's
going
the
to get
world
like,
we live in. That's the
world we live in.
gross ass
It's a
world we live in.
Trash world.
Of course, it's a trash world. There's tons of trash people. I'm not a trash person. I personally, I think Kyle Rittenhouse is a piece of shit. I sided with everybody who was on the other side of Rittenhouse. I would not have seen Rittenhouse with a gun, and if he was pointing it at me or pointing it at somebody, I would have tried to stop him. But when he's not pointing the gun at somebody, I'm not going to go in and try and stop him, because if I do try and fuck with somebody with a gun, I am now actively making that gun a part of the play.
Yeah,
He
you're
brought the
absolutely
gun
right.
there. He brought the gun there, but the second that I approach the gunman with hostility, the gun is now in play. And that might be my fault. There's other assholes there shooting off shots in the background, causing anger, causing hostility. These guys that were down there that were approaching Kyle, they all seem to be very hostile people. There's video
no,
of them
I'm-
before. Not after.
not disagreeing
Unfortunately,
with it.
these people
Yeah.
died.
Not
But
disagreeing with
somebody-
a single thing.
Somebody...
No, you're dead on.
Somebody probably shouldn't have been there. Was it Kyle? Yes. Was it the guys that got killed? Probably.
Yes.
They probably shouldn't have been there. They didn't.
It's a
They didn't
yes.
seem to have. They didn't seem to have the spirit of the protest at heart.
Yeah. No, there's a big difference between the peaceful and non-peaceful. I'll definitely give you that, and I think you worded it pretty well. I'm not going to disagree with anything you've said. It's like the Israel-Palestine thing. It's not going to be cut and dry. Like, there are so many details that you need to be aware of, and then even then it goes against what you already wanted to think, and for a lot of people that's tough. Being open-minded and being willing to change what you previously believed, now that it's been shown to be incorrect, is very difficult for a lot of people. That goes for religion, politics, all kinds of stuff. But like with Dave Silverman, like, he got accused of sexual harassment multiple times, and I think he just went to the group that doesn't care about people that have sexually harassed people.
Well, I think he went to the
that's the
group
right
that doesn't
wing.
care about consent. That's all.
Yeah. Well, I agree. But he's gone
the
so
White Claw
far
ban.
ridiculous.
Is that
Uh-oh.
20?
That's a 20.
Can I beer bong a White Claw?
No, you got the blue.
Yes.
They said White Claw, though.
Those aren't your White Claws. You got to pay 20 more, Derp, if you want to drink one of my White Claws.
Okay, I'll just
Ouch.
do...
Ben can't put my White Claw on the line. You can't steal my White Claw, Derp.
What a...
But you stole my White Claw. I'm gonna take those White Claws home with me and get a little kid drunk.
That sounds really fucked
Hashtag
up.
criminal tweets.
Oh, join our Discord and go back through the archive.
Oh man, it's so funny.
Yeah.
I'm about to start fucking kids, Billy the Fridge.
I don't think
You know, if-
I thought it was
if
taken out of
Billy-
condoms.
Taking out
Billy
of
gets
condoms.
If Billy gets killed, that's getting replayed on, all the conservative channels.
But he's friends with all of them. That's the thing.
With who? The conserves?
Yeah, you are.
They're my buddies.
Yeah, you are.
They're my Nazi
Yeah.
buddies.
He's friends with everybody.
Yeah.
No, like literally, he's friends with everyone. You guys know who Martin Shkreli is? Say one bad thing about Martin Shkreli, Billy will defend
Martin Shkreli is a piece of shit.
I mean, he's probably a better human being than any of us here.
him. See?
Probably.
How much money does he pay you?
None.
None. And he'll
why are you
defend.
just-
He'll be like, hey, Martin Shkreli made this drug available to way more people than otherwise.
All I'm
would have
saying is, do we trust the media?
been. No.
This is the guy that bought a Wu-Tang album for
Drink this
himself.
all now. Go ahead.
He did the world a favor, because here's the secret about that album. The album sucked. So not allowing the world to listen to it, he did the world
They
a
weren't going
favor.
to release it. They weren't going to release
yeah.
it. They just sold it to the highest bidder.
Exactly.
He was the dumbass that bought it.
No, not the dumbass. He bought it because it's art.
investment.
It's
The
art.
guy before him would have fucking bought it, and it would have been art too, and he wouldn't have paid as much.
But he wanted to. I think they were trying to sell it for $1 million. He offered $2 million, and now there are people who recently bought it for over $4 million. Benny is sipping. Benny be
Isn't he
bonging.
in jail right now?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's in jail.
No, he can't even hear you sucking his dick, bro.
He doesn't have to hear me.
Dude, attack anything Martin Shkreli's did. He'll defend it. Like
That's-
literally.
So he raised the price of.
I can't wait for this one.
Yes,
I'm
he
not
raised.
scared, Billy.
Ooh, derp, fuck you. Fight.
Another 20?
Fight.
Oh my God, hold
fight,
on.
Fight. So Martin
I'll do that
Shkreli.
one.
White Claw this
Here's
time.
what Martin
That's a
Shkreli
White
did.
Claw.
He found a drug that was an orphan drug, and he raised the price of it to $750 from what,
Wait,
$10?
What was it at previously?
$10 or something. It was like 13 bucks.
So he raised it.
He
like,
raised $750, and you know how much $750 is in the medical world. It's one bag of saline drip. Saline drip is salt water. It's $750.
He hasn't been coached.
Billy, what about the people without insurance?
They got it for free.
No, they don't.
It's not a lie. They all
don't.
get it for free. Literally, they get it for cost.
Dude, you are terribly mistaken.
Am I,
if you
or are
think-
you?
No. Like my mom takes like insulin and shit like that. Like the prices are fucking through the roof. Her co-pays have skyrocketed
He doesn't
because the
sell
insurance
insulin.
companies don't want it.
Okay,
He doesn't sell
so
insulin.
now the argument is going to be that it's only for toxoplasmosis, and you only get that if you're an HIV patient that owns cats. Am I right?
And he gave away 60% of all the stuff at cost for nothing to people who couldn't afford it. He only charged insurance companies and hospitals. And I believe he gave the hospitals a 50% rate as well. But the hospitals make money off of it too. The hospitals charge somebody $800 to sit in their waiting room for 3 hours.
He's a persecuted young man whose face was made the thumbnail of.
He's an Albanian hero, son of immigrant janitors. He wasn't. This is the problem, Martin Shkreli. He wasn't born rich.
Yeah.
So he's a scapegoat.
Good luck.
So he's a scapegoat.
Let me quickly point out something, Billy.
Yeah.
You like to claim that the hospitals overcharge for everything, and that's the problem. And that what
is it?
Martin is just taking
the problem's
advantage
a lot
of that?
bigger than the hospitals overcharging. That's just part of the problem.
Okay. Do you think that him inflating prices helps that issue?
I don't think it hurts it at all. No.
No. That I asked if it helped.
Why does he have to help the issue? He's simply he simply found something that all the big companies all the big companies did in the 90s. They found these orphan drugs, they jacked the prices up. There was an orphan drug that nobody had found yet. That hadn't been jacked up. He found it. He raised the price according to the economy. What the economy demanded, what was welcome in the economy.
Can I point something out?
And he used it to build his company and start a research and development to make better drugs.
I want to point out that after this broke news, Billy became friends with Martin.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was buddies with him and then like this happened later and he's like,
Billy,
oh, I'm sticking
How
by
am
my
I trying to
buddy.
get hired by Big Pharma? Like literally, I'm telling you, Big Pharma is horrible. Martin simply found a piece of the pie that Big Pharma hadn't found. He raised the price like they'd done on everything else.
Dude, who else do you simp for?
I mean, here,
About to hit it.
Anybody who's been wrongfully accused, I stand for.
Are you a fucking Elon Musk simp?
I am.
Yeah, well, why would I be an Elon Musk simp? He's not. What's he been wrongly accused of? He's the richest man in the world.
He's the guy that like has taken like $4 fucking billion worth of government fucking money and at the same time called it like, you know, like I'm so successful, I nail everything, I have no failed projects. Like
yeah,
I did it.
People.
By the way, bravo, Ben.
People lie and cheat and steal all the time. Like.
But that's not like that's not. You understand? That's like saying, okay, you had a problem with a child molester earlier, right? So people molest children all the time. Is that an excuse to continue doing it?
Oh, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
I'm small in stature, but I make up for it in drinking.
If it was legal and you were rewarded in society for doing it, then yeah, it would be an excuse to do it. Martin didn't break a law, and he was rewarded.
Saying there's nothing. Wait. You're saying there's nothing wrong with fucking kids.
If it was legal,
as society
if it was
what
legal,
is this happening?
If
I don't
it was
know
legal
what's going
and
on
you
right
were,
now.
if it was legal and you were rewarded by society for doing it, Like I'm saying, it's obviously not. So what's the point of saying so?
The difference we're having here is that
the difference is you're trying to poison the well with a pedophilia comment when it has nothing to do with this.
No, but if it's normalized, you're okay with it. If it's normalized that you
that is poisoning
take
the well,
advantage
though.
of sick people. If you take advantage of sick people to make a profit,
did he take advantage of sick people? He took advantage. He took advantage of the insurance companies, and he took advantage of the way pharmaceuticals are built up.
Who pays the insurance companies? You think their money comes from no one? There's sick people that pay into that.
Yeah, and who's the victim here? Is Martin Shkreli the evil man who did that? No, he's just another cog in a machine. We're vilifying him like he's actual Hitler, and he's not even a
He's
bump.
Armenian.
He's not even a bump in the road.
He's not Armenian. He's Albanian.
He's Albanian.
Oh my God,
he's not
worse
even
than
a
that.
bump in the road, and we're treating him like he's actually Hitler. That's the problem I have. You don't have to like him. You don't have to respect him. You can think he's an asshole. He probably is. You can say he's got a punchable face, but you treat him like he's actually Hitler, and he's not even a speed bump in the road. That's how much he matters. His raising the price.
I told you this was going to get contentious.
Does nothing to the system. He gave away 60% of it at cost for free to people who couldn't afford it. He reinvested his money in making drugs that other companies wouldn't make to keep people healthy, but we don't look at that. We look at punchable face man bad. Because we listen to the media, the same media that twists and turns everybody else's words to keep us angry, and we found one person that we could vilify that wasn't connected to generations of wealth.
Billy.
And we vilified him.
I forgot to tell you this, and I'll tell you live on the show. Last night, Alex from I Hate Everything, I told him about Algie David, and he's like, I want to hear a lot more stories about that guy. And he was like, do you have any more? And I'm like, I can tell you more, but I wasn't there. So you might have to meet Alex before he leaves the country to give him the full American experience.
Maybe.
Yeah, because he was asking, like, he was very interested in Algie. I was like, because I was telling him stories. He's like, there's no way that's real. And I pulled it up, and I'm like, this guy here, who has like $2 billion in net worth, yeah, he's real. He like... Yeah. I don't know if you guys know this, but there was a billionaire, a Greek billionaire, that was like making Billy and other people like his little puppets.
We were his toys. It was like Toy Story.
And he was paying you, but it wasn't good.
Is Billy gaslighting? Highly and Wolf 66, point out how I'm gaslighting. God. Point out.
Wait a second.
Point out.
Wait a second. Wait. Okay. First of all, I would like to firstly
but
point
Billy
out
calls out poisoning the well right before doing it himself.
Hold on.
Martin was compared to a pedophile, and rather than bring up pedophile again, I said literally Hitler. It's the same idea. The same idea.
Okay.
Is that poisoning the well? No, I'm comparing it instead of saying pedophile again on the show. That's all.
TJ, what'd you want to say?
I've totally lost my track. I was gonna say he had won me over, and that I was a total Martin Shkreli supporter now, and that I'm. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
That's it. You win, Billy.
Nah, we all win.
Don't matter. Are you a Martin Shkreli supporter
win.
now?
Look. Let me real quick point out the EpiPen, the EpiPen thing. Billy, you think that people that just have like allergic reactions should be forced to pay like hundreds of times what they previously paid just because they might have an allergic reaction? Like if your kid
do I think they should?
Allergic to bees.
Do I think they should? No, I don't think they should. I think that the entire industry of America, the America industry, not just pharmaceuticals, not just the prison, not just the food industry, not just the tobacco industry, not every single industry in all of America is set up to suck every last dollar and every last breath out of our fucking bodies. I don't think any of it's good, but I think vilifying the poor little Albanian boy born to two janitor immigrants is not the answer. But everybody likes to find a fucking bad guy they can hate on.
He's
And-
so good.
And all we find,
He's so
we
good.
find
He's
is,
so good.
is little baby
Salty
Martin
Billy.
who spent $2 million on a Wu-Tang album because he's the character worth hating. He created a character worth hating, and everybody bullies him. Everybody picks on him, and I stand up for the poor little boy that's been bullied by the world, and I'll never back down for standing up to bullies.
It's performative.
I'll never back
It's so
down.
cute. It's so cute.
He's so good. He's
Yeah.
so fucking good, dude. Dude, Billy, I fucking love you, dude.
It's cute.
You are like my hero, bro.
I love you too.
Oh, fucking.
You guys should
God
hug.
Damn it.
Well, I would hug.
No, seriously, we are
You-
gonna hug.
he-
Eventually, I will
he's
hug
taller.
this man.
He's a little taller.
No,
I got
not
long
a little
arms. I can wrap
taller,
them
a
all the
lot.
way
He's
around.
he's a little
Billy.
taller. I'm taller
He's
than
like
you than
4
he
inches.
is of me.
He's like 4 inches taller than you. Billy's like a big part of Billy's persona is he's tall. And I'm like, yeah, you're slightly above average tall.
Very tall.
No.
6'1" is tall.
I'm
no,
taller
it's
than
not.
6'1".
What? How tall are
He's
you?
lying. He's lying.
I'm
by the
6'2"
way.
on a bad day.
No. And he'll be
6'3"
like,
on a good day.
I have a bad spine day.
I do. Look up morbid obesity and height. I had bad spine day. But I was still 6'2".
Right, fuck it. No, I'm moving on. I'm moving on. I'm moving on.
I love you guys so much.
Hold on. I want to play. No. Never mind. I'm done with him.
I will say this.
No way. If it was something that was worth it, please don't skip it.
You know,
But
it's all like I don't know any. Like we're watching it for the first time.
I will say this, okay, guys.
Hold on. Here it is.
When I was at my desk today in my office, I was like, I put it on and they were the verdict live. I'm like, oh shit, the verdict didn't even come yet. So like 5 minutes later, the verdict came when I was watching it live at work. And I'll be totally fucking honest with you. I was a fucking total pussy. I was a total fucking pussy, and I cried.
What? You cried because a white kid got away with shooting people? I don't understand.
I'll tell you what. I cried.
Do you guys know what he does for a living?
Yeah, he sells cars.
Used car salesman.
Car parts. He works in the parts department of like a dealership, right? So, or maybe he oversees like the parts of a couple of dealerships or whatever the case may be. But the point is that like this motherfucker. How would you feel if you walked into your Toyota dealership trying to get a fucking alternator or some shit?
I would love
And this
this.
dude's
I want to go to
crying,
Jersey
crying.
just to buy a car.
Dude,
To have
you
him.
walk in and the dude is crying because the Kyle Rittenhouse jury just came back
It would
not
be
guilty.
hilarious to just walk into that dealership because I am in the market to buy a new car. I think I
please.
might want to fly to New Jersey.
I might be able to tell you a good approximation of where you should shop.
Oh, I already know. It's funny because like when me and him were arguing online, I got like a bunch of DMs like this dude works here, he works here, he's a piece of shit, he works here. I think it's like AIU people or something.
Oh yeah, because he guaranteed he bragged about it to them.
Which is
Guaranteed.
hilarious because like when I was fucking with him, I was totally drunk at night. Fucking with him. And then AIU showed up and AIU was fucking with him too.
Yeah, because he burned the bridge.
Yeah.
Like that's what you do with people like that. They're not fucking long-term people. By the way, Billy, if Joe was your Martin, would you?
Dude,
What's
Joe
Joe
is like the wild card on every deck. The Joker on every
Which
deck.
Joe are we talking about?
This
your
Joe
roommate?
we're looking at.
He's talking about this
Oh,
Joe here.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. Joe. I know Joe Wildcard.
Yeah. Why would
talking-
why would he be my Martin? What the fuck has he done for the world?
No, I'm saying if this guy did something decent for the world, you would come to his defense nonstop.
I mean, no, because how much decent stuff would he have to do? like he'd have to do something terribly miserable too to even care about him. Like the fact that we've been talking about him this long baffles me because he's a do nothing motherfucker.
Yeah, I regret even starting the conversation.
He's literally like if I stepped in shit, I would think that was a cooler thing to talk about than this guy. I'd be like, oh yeah, I stepped in a big pile of shit on the way here.
How about Onision instead?
Oh, okay. Onision, you've been on my mind, boy, like a drug.
I'm a banana. I'm a banana.
I'm TJ, not TJ, but I shove a banana up my ass.
Feels good.
Yeah, other TJ.
Other TJ.
I've been trying.
I'm also a 6'6" atheist on YouTube.
Yeah,
but not
you know what?
anyone.
That's kind of confusing.
Yeah, it's okay. He got popular. I didn't, so it was easy.
And I know him, like, me and him were close buddies for years. So,
I know. I have no, like, some of my favorite memories from Drunken Peasants in the past was the old crew. And it was just a good fit for the time and everything. But I honestly I love what you guys are now. Like, I appreciate
that.
Yeah, no, like you guys are fucking fantastic. Your fucking crew, your like, you know what I mean, the chat and everybody, like, good people, and we look for the same thing over in the goddamn podcast. Like, I don't need no fucking half-ass motherfuckers, and it used to be different, but it is the way it is now, and you can either grow with us or get lost.
I couldn't say it better.
You can ride with us or collide with us. It's simple as that.
Bam.
For me and my
Bam. Billy says it.
I cried.
All right, what's next?
Okay.
Goodbye, Joe.
All right.
Bye. Go. We're gonna go live our lives.
His name's Rhino Joe or something.
Live your.
It's
the Jersey Rhino.
The Jersey Rhino.
And
yeah.
But
I
it
am
used to
the
be
one that
live
gave him
life,
that
like
nickname.
live your life.
Live
which
your
you were
life.
all going to do.
He changed his name. He actually changed it. I didn't, because I gave him that Jersey Rhino fucking nickname a long time ago. I didn't know that he had like fully changed it.
I thought I saw.
But I
Rhino
guess I could
logo.
put it out there now. I'm sure he's changed it by now. But you want to hear something weird and embarrassing? 8072, the last 4 digits of his live life thing. Do you know where that came from?
No.
This guy's so original. It's the last 4 digits or was the last 4 digits of his phone number. Like, I'm sure it's years and years ago.
I feel weird. Like, I think that's funny, but I don't want to. Like,
I will say this.
No.
If we hit the goal tonight, I'll give the first 3 digits of his phone number, and then you guys can guess the area code.
I'm not trying to give away his. I'm absolutely sure it's been like changed by now. That
Look, if we hit the goal tonight, I'll give his
so,
address. No, I don't know any of this stuff. I'm just teasing.
I am
guys.
not trying to dox this guy. Like, Joe and I.
Let's do a cool, weird transition.
Let's take this to the Kraut Tea server.
All right. The Kraut Tea server.
Let's take this to the Kraut Tea server.
I see Jeff
You're making me
Holiday.
feel guilty.
That's my boy.
I mean, if he's gonna put his fucking last 4 digits of his phone number in his username, whatever. It's on him.
It's not. I swear to God, he has changed his number by now. There's no fucking way.
Even if he hasn't, it's in his fucking username. Like, yeah, those are the last 4 digits of his phone number. What an idiot! You don't know the first 3 digits. Are people going to sit there and type in 1,000 different? Will be more than 1,000 different. How many different iterations from 0 or 111 to like 999 and in between?
It's
holy shit.
99,999.
Probably even more than that.
Or 100,000 if you include the zeros.
Yeah, it's so way too many. There's way too many. I don't like it. It makes me sick. I hate it.
I'm now made to feel guilty over something that I was absolutely sure was not going to be.
Not just that. You didn't give away the entire number, even if it was still his number.
Everyone,
don't worry.
Give another 20 so I can take another beer to the dome.
Yeah.
And then finish it so I can do a King Cobra JFS.
Here's the deal, guys.
On the guitar.
Here's the deal, guys. For every dollar amount of donation you make, like if it's a $25 donation, I'll tell you if I've had sex with anybody that age. So for every donation number,
You won't admit to the real shit, though. He's a pervert. Anyway.
if somebody sends in a $5 donation, the answer is no. So don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh, fuck me. I love you, Billy. I really do. Dark Matter, what have we gotten ourselves into? The goddamn podcast has no affiliation with the Drunken Peasants.
Exactly.
Oh, you're affiliated now.
No more free information, guys. Send in your donos.
The goddamn podcast is now affiliated with Martin Shkreli.
Oh,
quick reminder that I'm not on camera, and there's some really good Dark Matter impersonators out there that could do my voice or Dark Matter's voice.
My voice, he said.
Shit.
Dark Matter's voice. Yeah.
Yeah. You're fooling everybody.
Yeah, we haven't had Dark Matter on the show ever. This has always just been an impersonator.
I did love he did
really
this
sexy
perfect episode with him and TJ Kirk.
To bad
Oh,
Billy,
yeah.
you'll take my
I
almost
love that
$7 and you'll like it. Goddamn IT pal.
Mr. Captain Snacks, that's a no.
Is that wrapping up another do I have to I don't know.
Boom, boom,
Dude,
boom.
this freeze frame of Joe of a Live Life, it looks like he's had his face ripped off.
Yeah, he looks kind of like his face has been ripped off, or he's Vision from the Marvel comics.
Yes. That was my second thought, but the more I looked at it, the more it looked like the Face Off movie with Nick Cage and Travolta.
Right here, right now. Yeah.
YouTube, like circa 2012, like when it was a lot of creationists and stuff, and the big thing was YouTube atheism. I remember some wacky Christians they didn't understand these video artifacts, and you were using it as proof of demons.
Yeah, like reptilian shape-shifting. This is where they shape-shifted.
Yeah, you can catch it on camera. In this frame, you can see how distorted his face is.
Oh God, yeah.
I know you grabbed this video and downloaded it in whatever quality you did, and it's just a freeze frame.
Just wait.
But I still think it's fucking hilarious that he put all this time and effort into making everything really high quality, and this is how he ends up looking.
Do you know who Alki David is?
Yes.
He's a billionaire. His family owns the Coca-Cola distribution in Africa and Europe.
It's the Pan-Hellenic Coca-Cola bottling company.
And
distribution.
He used to just throw money at these people before he got into
until he bought Tupac's hologram, he would throw money
holographic 3D live concerts. And he, I mean, I don't know what to say about it. I should re-release our review of that Lord of the Freaks thing. They made a review of this shit of him, and the opening scene is Billy the Fridge in a fucking sumo diaper,
covered in mud,
wrestling another big fat guy, same size. He was
almost big as me. Almost.
Yeah.
And then the camera zooms in on my big muddy ass, and then it cuts to a Coca-Cola logo.
What? Yes.
Good times.
It is so fucking ridiculous.
Ooh, I wonder if Alki could sell Tupac's hologram as an NFT.
I've tried to get Alki on the show for years. I'll throw him a DM every now and then, and I see he follows you, so I'm like, oh, that's really Alki.
Yeah.
But he's been accused of all sorts of dumb shit.
Yeah, he's been hit with multiple sexual assault lawsuits by Gloria Allred.
Hold on.
Damn.
Look at this.
Dude, I want to see some. Ready
or not?
I'm ready for my fucking.
There's my
Look at
chonking
Billy
ass.
the Finch. Yeah,
This is my big old chonking ass.
Trying to get up.
Here we go. Oh, here he is.
And here comes Andy Dick.
Beat the shit. No. Please. Take it easy.
That's me. I can
Take it easy.
This was an unsanctioned reality show where they are all living as if they were in prison.
We were
and
supposed
Andy
to live
Dick
in
comes
here.
through the fucking door.
Take it easy, very good. Take it easy. Hey, fuck you, bro. Give me that. God damn it.
Billy could not fit in that prison suit.
No, it was too small.
Was that like the biggest one? They're like, you.
That was the biggest one.
It's coming. Where's my fucking burger? God damn it!
Look at my bulbous body. Couldn't button it up. My little peckers just tucked back in.
No.
Packed in there. I shat myself at a Whataburger because I couldn't peel this thing off when I had diarrhea.
Wait. Can you pause that, Ben? Can you say that one more time, Billy?
I shat myself at a Whataburger in San Antonio because I couldn't peel this thing off, and I had explosive diarrhea from eating a gigantic chicken fried steak and a gigantic cinnamon roll.
Was this in Arizona?
This was in Texas.
Oh, okay.
And I did a gigantic cinnamon roll, a gigantic chicken fried steak, and I'd been drinking like not lean, but it was like cough syrup. I think it was codeine cough syrup. Because I was getting a cough because we drove the RV into Texas from Arizona, New Mexico, and the septic tank on the RV was broken. So the entire way through, we were breathing in desert heated shit fumes. And my throat was like poo-poo coated and choking and coughing. And I was like getting sick from sniffing poop on the road for 2 days straight. So I was drinking this cough syrup. It was codeine cough syrup. One of the guys in the chat here, every once in a while you'll see him, CT in the chat. He took me out eating and drinking for like 3 days straight. When I left him, I left him. My roommate was there and he was high on meth. Like I was my tummy full of alcohol and chicken fried steak and cinnamon roll, gigantic cinnamon roll, like gigantic. And I had my whole tummy full. And I was like, guys, we gotta pull over right now. We gotta pull over. I'm gonna shit everywhere, and we couldn't shit in the RV. It was busted. So they pull over. We get to the Whataburger. I roll out of the Whataburger. I'm in this big jumpsuit. I try and peel this jumpsuit off me. I'm dancing around the toilet at the Whataburger. Like I made it to the toilet, but I couldn't get the jumpsuit off of me. I finally get it off. I peel. I go to bend down, and Machine Gun Kelly. I was Machine Gun Smelly because I just went and just painted the wall with hot, explosive, projectile diarrhea. It was like a murder scene. And my friend was there, and he's got his camera out, and I look up, and he's taking pictures of me when I just painted the wall with Doogie. It was bad. It was all because I couldn't get out of this fucking thing. It was way too small. I couldn't peel my way out of it. I was wearing this thing, and the guy that just threw a cheeseburger at Andy Dick was getting beat up. And I couldn't get out of this thing to help. I couldn't move my arms to like break the fight up because I was effectively a T-Rex. I was like Fat Man in a little coat 24/7 in this thing.
Some kid making $7.50 an hour had to go in there and clean it.
It was bad. Yeah, I know. I thought about it. I was like,
that's the face of a man who's about to shit himself
So-
in about an hour.
Tell them about when Andy Dick came to you about Joe. Like, what was his...
For the longest time, Andy Dick was trying to have sex with my friend Joe.
Yeah.
And they were living down there. Joe was living down there for a while, and he met Andy, and Andy was like inviting him out to all these like shows and like guest lists. And
Joe's a handsome man.
He's very handsome.
Yes.
Tall too. And I sat down next to Andy, and he was like, "So, where's your pal Joe ducking me?" And I looked over. I seen Joe hiding, and he was like,
No.
I was like, I don't know. He been busy, Andy.
I'm going to be interviewing you one by one. One by one. Take it easy. Hi, Joe. Fucking Crofton can eat that.
We have.
Dude, I'm hungry, dude.
Yeah, he said don't waste food earlier. What was that?
What was that?
What's that necklace?
It's a donut.
Oh, it's his donut
old-fashioned.
necklace that he wears. Less likely these days.
I don't wear it as much
Me and him
anymore.
tried to get into Disneyland. I didn't get in because I had a bunch of weed on me, and he didn't get in because he had the donut on him.
Yeah, we both got turned down for paraphernalia.
Yeah, you fucking goddamn eat that fucking burger, dude.
We'll go check.
Go fucking get it, bitch, boy.
Okay. Well, it was a pleasure. We'll be right back. It was a pleasure.
No
Yes.
tomatoes, grilled fucking onions, and my fucking fries and my motherfucking tea milk, motherfucker.
All right.
Bitch.
Bitch.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bitch.
Who is getting overly excited in their role as a prisoner?
That was a guy named Curtis Croft, who was famously on, well, what's that one with Robert Stack? Unsolved Mysteries. He was on Unsolved Mysteries because he was on a motorcycle, and his girlfriend at the time, who I think was like 16 or 17, and he was in his 20s, she was riding the back of the motorcycle, and he had some drug debts in the area he was in. And so people think that he was being hit by somebody, but somebody approached him in a truck and went to smack him over the back of the head with a giant, long-ass 2x4. It was like a 10-foot 2x4. They would just smack him in the back of the head while the moving truck was there. They hit her and made her brain almost brain dead. Like, she went from being a beautiful young lady to, like, functionally busted, you know? Like...
Dude, I asked who this random dude was, and I literally got the story of like literally unsolved mysteries.
Yeah,
he'll explain more and more. This guy,
That
watch
was the
this
guy.
video. This guy in the middle is Billy's roommate.
That's Joe.
Yeah.
And there's the guy with the hat on the bottom. Yeah, right there getting beat up is the guy from... And I'm trying to break him up, but I'm tripping over chairs. My damn arms can't move because I'm T-Rexing in this suit. I'm Fat Man in a little coat. A1 there. I think he's around his mid-20s at this time. He had recently gotten out of prison after spending a 10-year stint as a youth going to adult prison. And he got out and he found Battlecam, which was originally a website. And here's the thing about Battlecam: a lot of stupid people on there. But to find
People
Battlecam,
blow off their own
to find
nutsacks.
Battlecam, you had to be a computer person, right? And back in the day, 10 years ago, there was a little harder to be a computer person. You know, there weren't apps on your phone and everything. You had to like log into a computer, find a website, go to it. So the majority of the dumb people on Battlecam at least had the ability to like find it somewhere online. You had to be a little savvy to find it. Until the billionaire bought a TV station, and he put it live broadcast in the South, in Los
LA.
Angeles, in LA. But the number one market the TV station had was the Inland Empire, and there were a lot of gangster motherfuckers in the Inland Empire that started finding Battlecam, and they started coming on Battlecam, and they started like talking that gang shit, like, I'll fuck you up, homie. I'll come down to the studio and fuck you up. A1 was one of those people, and he came down and he fucked him up. Because sometimes you can talk shit online, but you can't talk shit online to A1. Originally, the trolls were trolling A1, and A1 said, look, you think you can troll me? You think you can troll me? He's like, he took a fucking butcher knife out. He said,
"Oh my God, this is so bad."
He
what
said,
did.
how can you troll me
I've
if
seen
this
it.
is what I'm willing to do to myself? He took the butcher knife and he sliced his own arm down to the bone, where you could see the bone. He was like, I'm willing to do this to myself. What do you think I'll do to you? And I was like, oh.
Who was the guy that shot a bullet through his scrotum?
That was Mothman Tommy. I hung out with him in Pennsylvania.
Someone blew a fucking hole through their scrotum.
That was Mothman.
It's that fucking crazy.
He was a good guy. He was
Dude,
a sweet boy.
I used to fucking have a friend that would like before a fight he would like just hold his hand out and break his pinky. Like you know, and like that kind of insane. Like I'm willing to just like before we even fucking like dance. And I'm like, dude, you can't fuck with people like that. They're just too much. You have to step back.
Mouse
and be
Fitzgerald
like,
says
"Fuck
Inland
it."
Empire has no real gang members. How can you be a gang member and live in Rancho Cucamonga? Rancho Cucamonga is a small part of the Inland Empire.
Yeah, because the way you're just a fucking punk. I don't like you at all. Just stop.
This is the guy with the dark hair in the middle is Billy's roommate,
Yeah,
Joe.
this is Joe. This girl that just pushed Joe, she might be a prostitute, but she definitely got caught smoking meth on the show. Joe finds himself in 3-on-1 scenarios a lot.
He choked someone.
What did we do? What did we fucking do?
Relax. I've heard your shit right now. You're lying sack of shit. Stop. Lying sack of shit. Stop that shit. Fucking dumb.
Stop. Hey, Joe. Everybody stop.
Fuck that fool.
Stop.
People always make me stand up when I'm just fatting around. What the hell, man?
He has me in a chokehold.
Everybody let
Isn't it a chokehold?
Of course Joe has him in a chokehold.
Yes.
I knew Joe was going to be fine. 2 girls and 1 guy. Joe's gonna choke him. Like, he's fine. He's fine. Joe will always get you in a chokehold. That's the one thing I know about Joe. He'll lock you in a fucking chokehold.
You like to defend people that hurt others.
Whoa. They were jumping him. All he did was respond to the woman who slapped him by jovially lifting her up and setting her down on the table.
Jovially.
It was a jovial lift. No, I knew beforehand they talked about working that situation up, so I knew that they were gonna.
So it was a work.
They talked about getting in each other's face beforehand, so I up until everybody else jumped in.
I've had Joe put me into one of his Joe chokeholds.
Well, yeah, the chokehold wasn't a work because he didn't talk. He's got the guy in a chokehold on the floor that jumped him because the guy was super simping for the girls. He was trying to get in. And he ended up dating the girl after this, so Joe actually did him a favor.
God.
He turned him into a little hero. He got sympathy puss. He got a little sympathy puss.
Oh my God.
He jovially Hulk smashed her through the table. It's not rocket surgery. This is how you get people hooked up. Joe was Cupid. He drew back his bow, shot the arrow, and these 2 fought.
That's so fucking dumb.
Battle Camp House.
Hold on.
Got a little sympathy puss.
My God.
Uh-oh. He jovially Hulk smashed her through the table.
Oh, shit. Hold
It's not
on.
rocket surgery.
All right, guys. It's your new home.
Oh my God.
Did you kiss that kid?
There'll be a series.
This guy on the right is a billionaire. It's funny because, like, throughout this entire thing, when he didn't like someone, he would just pop up and be like, "You're done. You're fired.
You're fired."
Of challenges. There'll be not so celebrity guests.
Battle Camp
Was that
House.
him in the bottom left?
What?
Shirtless.
What?
It was him just on the bottom, like a couple seconds ago. He's on the bottom left, just like shirtless.
Just kicking it.
Just like that's the billionaire dude.
He's just kicking it. I think it might have been the billionaire. Probably. Sounds like
Test the will, mind, spirit.
I love this so much.
absolutely unsavory living conditions. Good time.
I counted multiple times in which your belly was licked in that sequence.
Yeah, it was a weird. The whole thing lasted like 24 hours. They got shut down by the fire department.
It was
so
supposed to
much
go for
footage.
a month. It makes it seem like it was forever.
It was supposed to go for a month, and
But
then
then
he ended up
put
putting
you
us
on a fucking RV. It was like drive to New York.
He started getting us
basically.
hotels, and then we were getting kicked out of all the hotels in L.A., so he was like, okay, just put you on an RV and drive.
Dude, how much did you get paid for that?
Nothing.
No.
In comparison.
I mean, the trip, we kept, like, along the trip, we kept getting, like, payments, but most of that went to gas because the RV was expensive to gas. But
dude, your payments were for the gas.
Well, it was like for gas and food and being on the road, and we would get paid like thousands. But afterwards, he sent me like $5,000 afterwards too. So I was like, "Thank you, sweet boy, for $5,000." After I just spent 2 months of my life crackheading.
Bravo to you, sir.
It was fun. It was fun.
Battle cam. I'll be honest. I've never heard of battle cam.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was a weird
Sorry.
subculture.
No, not sorry. Not sorry at all. Not sorry. There are.
Do you know who Cavacho is?
No.
Tell them.
Camacho was one of the late model toys. Like if Joe was Woody and I was Buzz Lightyear, then he would have been like a piece of dog shit that solidified and the guy thought was a pet rock. But he had eaten
cat poop.
One night he ate cat poop, and then that wasn't gross enough, so he ate like a dead cat's skull. He chewed on the skull. He's sick. He gave me a bottle of wine one night because I was at I did a live show in L.A. I was playing the Whiskey a Go Go in Los Angeles, and he came by and he brought me a bottle of wine, and I was like, "Oh, thanks," but like I wasn't gonna drink it.
How dare we not make the goal? Like the stream. Give these boys the tips.
Boom, 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 boom. Thank you, Northern Perspective. We just got 75% of the way to go with a little dono. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yo, awesome.
But yeah,
I'm
long
gonna
story.
do a beer bong in honor of you.
Long story short, he handed me a bottle of wine, and I wasn't gonna drink the fucking thing. He gave it to me as a gift, and I wasn't gonna drink it because I knew that he was famous for putting a bottle of wine up his ass until the cork was covered in shit. So I'm like, there's no way I'm drinking this fucking wine. My friends though drank the wine.
The Cavacho wine.
The Cavacho wine. And then the next day he said, yeah, I put it up my ass. Like, of course you did. But my friends drank it and they all heard it. They were like, what the fuck, man?
They were going to do this thing that they built up for months, that Cavacho was going to like live isolated in like a weird poop den. But then he realized he couldn't smoke cigarettes in there and freaked the fuck out. And it didn't even last one day.
You know what, Ben? Walter Lohman in the chat makes a good point. He says, wow, how grateful they are for free money. You're right. Let's stop the show and let's grovel and suck the cock of Northern Perspectives.
Am I committing suicide now?
Let's just stop the show. Let's stop the show. This is now us verbally blowing Northern Perspectives for the rest of the night, okay? Because I want to prove that we're grateful. We're so fucking grateful. Ben, your knees better be beat up from dropping to those knees and slurping Northern Perspectives.
No, they are.
Because I think nothing less than a sloppy, knee-dropping, busting your joints open with blood and mucus and spit from knob slobbering is nothing less than what Northern Perspectives deserves.
I can't.
Where the throat goes.
When I agreed to come on the show, I did not want to sign up for any type of fellatio.
I'm sorry.
Just want to put that out there.
Bullshit. You sign up for that every Tuesday night on the goddamn podcast.
Dark Matter, I didn't mean to put any fellatio on your plate. Ben and I were going to do the majority of the sucking. If you wanted to like do a couple of like ball
if you just
jugglings.
if you just want to handle the
if you
balls.
just want to tickle the scrot, we'll be the throat goat.
Scrot tickle.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Slobber Upper 3000.
Rat Lord, you sick fuck. I can't believe I'm about to slurp up a slobber dobber for $20. Okay,
Are
let's
you going
suck
to
it.
drink like...
Whip it out. Whip it out. Whip it out.
I'm cropping all that and loading it up to a Billy sex spot.
Oh, God.
You probably could program a sex bot to say some of the dirtiest stuff with my voice on this show. I go pretty hard sometimes. I'm sick. I'm gross.
It's true. I've been here.
Yeah.
I love the whole like old school dark matter shit where like the weird angels talking to God and God's like, no, you're a piece of shit. And they're like, no, you are. I grew up on that shit, honestly.
Dude, I've said it before, but you guys know that Dark Matter was subscribed to me before he started making videos. This son of a bitch, like, was a fan of mine, and now look at him versus look at where I'm at. This fucking son of a bitch.
Before I made any videos, I sent TJ a DM of one of my favorite face palms, because he would always do those face palm videos where he'd have clips of people doing face palms as a reaction.
Yeah, it was basically just I would find a clip so dumb that I wanted to cover that the only response was like after every dumb thing they said, there would just be a face palm. And I basically collected clips of people, my fans and whatever, doing face palms. And that was the good old days back when YouTube actually included you.
Yeah, I'd get like a high off of like getting responses from people with like anyone with over 1,000 subs. It was like a celebrity. It was like, holy shit, this guy replied to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those days.
Yeah,
were
like
long
last night, it was for me like I was meeting big time celebrities, you know.
Markiplier used to follow me, and now he won't
did?
even. Now he won't. No, I was gonna make up a story about him being.
Yeah, like last night I met I Hate Everything. He's like a super cool, very like quiet kind of guy in person.
It's because he hates everything. He doesn't want to talk.
Oh my God!
You want to feel old,
They hated
have
America.
your daughter. If you want to feel old, have your daughter tell you like, "Oh, check out this Markiplier video," and he's like,
"Oh no,"
talking about how he wants to eat the calcium from the bones.
I mean, if you want to
to
feel old, have your girlfriend tell you that.
Whoa, that sounds like a Billy thing.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's a Billy thing.
My girlfriend is 9 years old in in dog years.
Yeah, it's all a Billy thing.
Holy shit!
In dog years.
I do remember that Billy remembered the punchline to my joke of what's the best part of fucking 26-year-olds?
There's 20 of them.
Yeah, exactly. That's terrible, Billy.
It's not terrible. Look, if you have
only pedophiles know the punchline of that joke. I don't even know the punchline of that joke.
Bullshit. Pedophiles couldn't handle 20 of them. They're weak. There's a reason why they date underage people, because they can only handle one kid. They're losers. They're trash. They're trash. Garbage human being.
Billy's like a real man. He can handle 26-year-olds at the same time.
Not only am I a real man, I can handle 20 adults at the same time. I'm a director. I'd have the dopest human centipede yiff party at my FurCon.
Dude, I want to be there.
Exactly.
Can I get a VIP?
All I'm saying,
VIP
all I need is your consent. I don't care if there's 100 of you, 1,000 of you. All I need is your consent, and I'll make it work.
Dude, Ben, you're looking. You all right, buddy?
I'm looking beautiful. All right.
Yes, you are. That's exactly the words that were going to come out of my mouth.
Oh.
Is dopest human centipede at my YIFCon even English? I'm still trying to figure it out.
Probably not.
Oh, please play another video.
Is the term yiffing? Is yiffing the sound that it makes when the penis like brushes through the fur? Is that why they call it yiffing?
And there's no penis involved.
In yiffing?
I think it's just the heavy breathing coming from inside a fursuit. Huh. It's like, yeah.
The FBI doesn't. I guess the FBI does invade you when you sleep, but it's usually the CIA that come in unless they have a warrant. FBI comes in with a warrant. CIA comes in.
Hey, hold on.
Wrong screen. You gotta pull the battle cam screen down.
Look at this cum dumpster right here.
Oh my God! What?
Yeah, this is the other side. Like, I wouldn't agree with the politics of the woman, but they're like, "Hey, look at this cum dumpster right here."
Look, if I know one thing, dehumanizing people is fun.
Look at this cum dumpster right here. You cum dumpster? Your mom was. Hey, I can't be a cum dumpster. You are. How? I don't have a vagina, you dumb cunt. You can swallow it.
you dumb bitch.
This is bad. Oh, he threw the sign. He Hadouken?
Oh no, he attacked her, and he's in the wrong here.
What you gonna do?
My guy's actually dressed like one of the kids from South Park.
And they try to take her sign.
Back up.
What does your sign say?
It's a pro Kyle sign.
Oh.
But then they they're like, hey, you can't attack a woman.
Yo. Go.
If your heroes aren't heroes, you're villains.
Twice today with that kid.
Twice today with that kid. Yeah, this guy was an idiot.
That kid would have been the fourth charge against Kyle Rittenhouse had he been there.
Here's the thing. One of the protest leaders met this kid and was like, "No, we're not one of." Yeah, right here. This guy was like,
"What are you gonna do?"
Well, you have to.
She gotta go. We ain't come out here like this.
Yeah,
exactly.
See? This is the problem. People who might be on the right side are idiots.
No side's right anymore. It's all people who are angry and.
We ain't come out. Listen.
We need a better answer.
Listen to me. This is not what we come out here to do. I did not want to tell you my brother.
Look at all the cameras.
Freak the fuck out.
Just
He hits the cameras like an idiot.
Yeah, he's dumb.
No. Go. I stopped it.
Oh yeah, you got that camera. Now only got 30 more.
Yeah, this guy's like, hey, we don't do that. Don't do it.
The guy, this dude is like, the idea of a protest is not to give the other side ammunition, right? And this black dude is doing like a very noble thing and trying to explain this to this fucking dumbass fucking South Park looking kid.
An ideal thing in a protest is to win people over to your side, and so often people do the exact fucking opposite.
Do you remember how Black Lives Matter, the movement, really got started?
Yeah,
it was when they took over Bernie Sanders fucking little public gathering and speech thing, and they'd gone up there like they fucking own the shit. And it turned so many people off, and one of the girls that ran it was then tweeting pictures of her sipping white tears, in a mug or whatever. That's not how you win people over. And even the people you do win over are just going to be pushover bitches. They're not the people you want on your side, and it's just such a disservice to the overall message and idea when people do shit like this. It really is. Any protest can have validity until it reaches this point, and then you're just giving ammo to the other side. You're literally doing a disservice to your own volitions.
Yeah, but it's the majority of people that are a part of the protest are
idiots.
Not that. No, they're not the ones starting the shit. It takes a small amount of people to ruin it for everybody. That's the problem. As the protests grow longer and people grow more restless and the cops are looking for any reason, the one piece of shit that throws a glass bottle at the cops gets tear gassed in the entire crowd.
Look at this cum dumpster right here.
You cum dumpster? Your mom was.
Hey, I can't be a cum dumpster.
You are.
I can't be a cum dumpster. I don't have a vagina.
You dumb cunt.
Oh my god! If this guy,
I like how he's she's she could have swallowed it.
Yeah, he's got two perfectly fine holes if you got to put it in a hole, but you ain't got to put it in a hole to make somebody a cum dumpster. You can just blow it all over their face, on their tummy, on the small of their back. You don't need holes to be a dumpster.
Get the fuck out. What you gonna do?
Rob, don't do that.
What's up?
Stop!
Get off.
Stop! Back up!
I didn't do nothing. She's the one that's doing it.
Back up. Fuck off. Oh, shit.
Anthony! Anthony, you're gonna get arrested.
Why are you trying to get up on me like that? I gotta get away. Hey, you okay, man?
And even this guy's like, don't
Can
do
you,
that.
Can you imagine? Wait. Can you imagine if like 3 of these people in this crowd had AR-15s strapped around them, and then they saw this, then they could be like working in self-defense and just shoot the fuck out of a bunch of people because they don't know what's going on, and that's totally fine.
Marcy, get this shit away before I freak the fuck out. No.
Go, man. Stop that. You ain't.
Stay back. Stay back.
You hit me.
Someone grab her. Hey.
Do nothing.
Don't get arrested.
I didn't do
Back.
nothing. You hit me.
Stay back.
No, you hit me.
Get the line here.
Now y'all fucking hit me. Back up. Get Mauser out. Back up.
Stay back. Go forward. Stay back now.
Clusterfuck.
His
I'm
ass getting
continually
arrested, bitch.
Continually amazed at how stupid people are. Like everybody involved with the Kyle Rittenhouse incident, that I saw on camera was stupid. Kyle was dumb for being there, and the people attacking him were dumb for attacking him. And now all these fucking people are dumb for being violent at a protest, and when they're protesting something that was violence at a protest, it's just stupidity begetting more stupidity.
You're right.
I agreed.
Can we set this guy up against Kyle Rittenhouse in a Street Beats backyard brawl?
Oh, Street Beefs?
Street Beats. Street Beefs.
Why are y'all going up there?
So, because he had to get in the face of the old white mom, his person of color friend is being held down by the police. Good chain of events, dude.
Yeah, get all this.
That's why we're trying to get you. Back up. Stay back. Move.
Brandon Klein says, and Billy is probably best friends with Kyle and the protesters who went after him. R.I.P. to my homies. Sometimes friends fight, though, and it's hard to pick sides, okay?
Was Onision there, too?
Yeah, Onision. I was friends with Onision and people Onision was fighting with, okay? This isn't the first rodeo I've been to where you have to...
Onision and what's his fucking name from To Catch a Predator?
Chris Hansen?
Chris, yeah, Onision and
Chris Hansen's a total grifter piece of shit, though, honestly.
No, but that's fine. Billy's still going to defend him.
Skater die!
No, he won't, because he was against Onision.
Skater die!
Oh, if only he had fucking purchased some orphaned drug fucking shit.
I mean, look, if you want to vilify somebody, just make sure you know why they're a villain.
Yeah,
otherwise, you're the villain.
If you're going to defend somebody, make sure that they own the rights to some fucking orphan drug.
I've defended people who have done way worse than Martin Shkreli, so that's nothing.
I believe it.
That's nothing.
I believe it. I'm just giving you a hard time, buddy.
Martin Shkreli's a sweet boy. Not tall though. The guy's
No,
not tall.
he doesn't look it.
I think he might be taller than him.
Martin Shkreli has the face of a man who pays for sex.
He didn't have to. Oh, dude, he would get so many girls. One of the very first the reason I'm friends with him, because I went into his tiny chat room to troll him because he was live all the time. I went in to troll him, and I said, "Hey, Martin." He's like, "What's up?" I was like, "Do you get bitches?" He's like, "Yeah, I get bitches." And I was like, "Can I have your runoff bitches?" He was like, "Yeah, you can have all my runoff bitches." And so we became friends.
I mean, honestly, that's one way to win a guy over.
Yeah, he offered me his runoff bitches. That's homie right there.
Runoff bitches. Do you want them?
That's homie right there.
I will defend your right to overcharge for medicine.
If you're gonna give me your runoff bitches, then I think I have to look closer at you than the rest of the people do. Some people
Look, I'm
just
not
want to
gonna-
look at at somebody who they think is bad, so they have another enemy to yell at and throw rocks at because they're pussies. Nobody's willing to fucking walk up to the rock and sock him in the face, but they'll throw rocks. You'll do it, Ben. I swear to God, you won't do it. You will not walk up to the rock and sock him in the face.
Crazy enough to do.
But
Only
people-
because The Rock has like 5 guys that are bigger than him as
I
security.
wouldn't even make it.
People will throw rocks from afar though all day long.
I'll throw my rocks at the rock.
From afar, I'm not
From
proud of.
afar.
I'm not proud of someone who throws rocks
From
from
like
afar.
2 miles away.
I'm not proud of somebody who throws rocks from afar.
Dark Matter, why did you start this conversation again? Jesus, we were almost over this. God
Someone
damn it,
says
Dark
Billy
Matter.
defends Hillary Clinton.
The shit I understood dropped to 15%, TJ. Don't blame me.
This poor guy, he's like, it's like if you're just learning Spanish and you're watching a podcast in Spanish.
Someone needs to give me one of those hooked on phonics Drunken Peasants versions.
I can defend Hillary Clinton.
Dude, if I swear to God, if there's a hooked on DP thing that comes out, I will fucking buy it.
I want it.
So you can learn all the phrases and the lingo. I swear to God, I'll do that.
Dark Matter, do you know what an individual situation is by any chance?
He knows.
I don't know what it means, but I know it has something to do with Brett Keane.
Individual situation. Check out the beautiful asshole.
Are we covering
the individual Brett Keane segment situation?
Oh my fucking God!
I could do
are
it.
We covering? Oh, dude, please! This is a
You
dream
want
come
it?
true.
All right,
To
you
ever-
asked for it.
Dude, I am asking for it because to ever cover Brett Keane on Drunken Peasants is like my dream.
Wow. I will. I'll make it happen.
I don't have very high aspirations.
All right, here we go, buddy.
Please.
This guy still does stuff.
Still doesn't. Oh my God.
I'm gonna mute it so he can't like flag my video for this bullshit because he flags you like a lot.
Dude, you remember when he used to play
I
like
do want to
Interesting
point out
Man?
that his brother is a very talented musician. His
Absolutely,
brother,
and you also Brett Keane used to use like Enter Sandman and shit.
Wait,
for
wait,
his
wait, I
intro.
feel like I'm taking crazy pills. What the fuck is TV radio? It's God and then
Or
TV radio.
no, it's radio and TV. We all grew up with that, right?
Dude, in the
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brett Keane. I hope you're all having a blessed day. When you get an opportunity, check out the links in my description. Check out my books, music, and art. When you have an opportunity, also check out my brother Justin Keene's
Another
music as well as
classic
live games.
example of a guy that switched sides out of convenience.
It's the theme tonight.
As well as
Game
It's
streaming.
the theme of it's a total theme of the actual ideology I hold. The people there are hold me accountable, and I don't like that.
He doesn't like it, so he starts believing in God.
I gotta respond to this
because they are much easier to fucking like fool.
I gotta respond to this dono right now because I don't want it to get cold. I want to know Neighbor of the Beast is right here. I want neighbor 777, the Neighbor of the Beast, gave $3 measly and said, "I don't like Billy. I think he's an idiot who subscribes to some awful right-wing white supremacist ideals like the master race. But damn if it's not entertaining
The
to watch him
smartest
be a
donation in
fat
the history of Drunken
to watch him be a fat oaf. I want you to know the only reason I'm here is to entertain you, and I've already won. Fuck you. If I believed in the master race, it's because I'm 99.9% white. I'm whiter than every fucking dickhead that talks about the master race. Okay? I'm whiter than them.
No.
And I still don't subscribe to the master race. Okay? And if
Billy,
I
just
did,
need you-
if I did, I would fucking be the master of the master race. Okay? But I don't. So don't put
Billy, I
words in
just
my
need-
mouth.
I need you to know that while you're pointing at Ben, like you're having this kind of like
Yeah.
thing. You can't see the rest.
I'm
of it.
pointing at Ben.
You can't see the. you
I'm
can't see
pointing.
the
I'm pointing.
At the
I'm
window.
pointing. I'm
You're
pointing.
literally talking about a master race.
I'm
and
pointing.
your
I'm
arm is
pointing,
like-
and
like
I'm
this.
pointing
Well,
and talking.
I'll tell you what.
I'm pointing.
I am.
I'm pointing with
I mean,
assertion.
I am the Ubermensch.
Also, Billy, you didn't answer the question implied by the $3 donation.
What was the question? Oh no,
Three-
no,
three-
no,
yeah, okay,
no,
okay.
definitely no, definitely no, definitely no. That's most definitely no. It's a big time no.
That he does through this channel with his wife Autumn Keene, his children, and sometimes my son. You'll hear him talking on the mic, as well as my wife Dawn Keene, who does her own solo game streaming on the same channel. This is the Keene channel, so not only will you hear Brett Keene, but you'll hear family and friends, those related to us and those who associate themselves with us.
Oh well, I'm sold.
Today we're gonna.
Is this, wait. Did he just restart this shit recently, or is
Yes.
this old?
This is, I want to remind you, this is his gaming channel. And
wow.
You're about to hear nothing that has anything to do with games at
Talk
all.
about Kyle Rittenhouse. I want to ask you all a question, if you don't mind, as we get into this. How would you feel if your daughter or your son or one of your family members, just pick someone that you really, really care about in your family, and imagine that they're on trial for their life?
Okay.
Imagine dragons.
Yeah.
Dude, his voice is getting more and more like
he's choking on his own fat.
Like, Jesus fucking Christ, bro. Finish chewing the Big Mac before you
Come on,
record.
people. If we meet the goal within the next 30 minutes, Billy will go up to the rock and sock him.
I didn't say that. I did not say that. I didn't say
heard
that.
it.
Someone
Yeah.
donate $3.66 so we can get off this 666666666.
If you donate it now, me and Billy will fuck. And we will.
Ben's had quite a bit of beer bongs tonight.
I will fuck him.
Whoa! I will fuck you.
Oh,
I will fuck you.
You wanna play?
You wanna play?
It's
You wanna play?
That they could either be
who's
put
got
away
the worst
forever,
whiskey dick?
or they could end up on death row, where they get lethal injection
Hold your
or
mic.
whatever the
Stone boy,
country
thick soul
or
goddess.
state decides to do to them that involves killing
Hold your
them.
mic.
Imagine
let
that a
this
bunch
play.
of high-stake
torture.
politicians, the president.
I thought Ben was going to clear a space on the couch for us to try and fuck each other. I was a little worried there. He's pretty inebriated.
You have control, right? You can stop Brett Keane talking whenever you want.
Of course,
right?
yeah.
I need to know that before we continue.
Yeah, I stopped. I stopped.
Because otherwise it's like you're not getting consent.
Oh.
And you're just being raped by Brett Keane's voice.
Oh.
And I'm not okay with that. I'm just not.
I'm not okay.
What game are we playing tonight on Brett Keane's gaming channel?
Games you lorve. We're playing. What if Kyle Rittenhouse was your son or boy? What if he was your son or boy? What would you do then?
It's Macario and cheese.
What would you do if Kyle Rittenhouse was your son and or boy?
This chili's pretty good, but it would have been a little better if you had shot some protesters.
Pre-order now. Shoot a protester and win. Yeah, I don't know. Young Brett Keane.
I know Brett Keane like the back of my hand, and I learned most of his history from this fucking show. So, like, I knew him beforehand. I knew Brett Keane because he used to comment on my videos back when he was like the Stallion 777 or whatever the fucking shit was. But he used to comment on my videos, and I was like, oh, that's Brett Keane. And I like chuckled at it, and I never like treated him poorly, and he immediately assumed that like we were friends. Immediately, because I didn't immediately shit on him. He's like, you are one of the good ones. I'm like, no, I'm really not.
That's how him and I were friends for so long.
Oh God.
Because I didn't immediately shit on him. He's like, oh, I got an ally now.
Yeah, you're my buddy because you didn't poop on me immediately.
You didn't.
You're my man on the inside now, Billy the Fridge.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna tell me what all the atheists say about me.
How would you like to lick a lollipop fudgesicle big time
Of the
manager?
United States, or even the vice president, secretary of state, just the real big people who run the country, know nothing about your family member whatsoever.
It's true.
However,
King Red, Honest Red said this dude at my bar, 7'2". He said Billy ain't shit. Okay, Honest Red, is he
Honest
wearing?
Red's a troublemaker.
Is he wearing high heels? Is that with or without the heels? Is that with or without the heels, Honest Red?
Is Honest Red a dude or a chick? Do we know?
A dude.
Honest Red is a dude.
So you're checking out the dudes at your bar. Is he gay?
Honest Red.
He probably swings both ways.
Honest Red doesn't swing both ways, but he loves.
No, I probably think he does.
But he loves T-girls. He loves them. He loves them. Maybe
T-girls
he does
and
swing both.
7'2" guys.
I've never heard
apparently.
Honest Red swinging both ways. I just know Honest Red loves T-girls.
I think he probably swings both ways.
To her or him.
He loves.
They've never seen a baseball game with him. Nothing.
Never seen
there
a
has
baseball
literally
game
been no interaction whatsoever. However, because these politicians have a political agenda, they think that somehow it's going to win them brownie points with their constituents.
You guys remember the early days of atheist YouTube, and Brett Keane was like the star of that shit. I'm sure you remember.
TJ, Amazing Atheist, literally started up because of Brett Keane.
Yes. Oh, we've talked about that.
Yeah. So Brett Keane was like was a catalyst. Brett Keane was like the oxygen of a planet that quickly learned that it didn't you didn't just have to breathe oxygen. Like there was plenty of other shit to do on this planet and this earth and this website and this internet and everything else. Brett Keane cornered a tiny little fucking tiny little piece and thought he owned the shit. Remember, he used to say he was a part of the Drunken Peasants because you made fun of him so much.
Yes.
Jesus fucking Christ. Like, how disconnected are you? How disconnected are you? That's like saying Hillary Clinton is a Republican because Republicans talk about her so much.
You're right.
Like, it doesn't make sense.
And voters. So they decide to spend hours on television telling the American people what.
Honestly, I've paid Brett Keane more money than he could ever work in his entire life.
It's not true.
It is true.
He's probably made more off donations in the last 20 years than you've paid him.
Nope.
How much have you paid him?
Think they paid him a lot. I've watched where the negotiations happen.
Did you pay him over $10,000?
No, but I think you're overestimating his potential.
Just off of YouTube ads alone, he's got to have made
into defense. Look at Billy the Fridge wanting to jump in to defend Brett Keane.
I don't want to defend Brett Keane. I just want to know. You just said you've paid Brett Keane more than he could ever make in his life.
Yes.
And I'm like, was it more than $10,000? Because I feel like he's made more. I feel like he's made more than $10,000 in his life.
You feel that way, but you don't know. Okay. Go ahead.
The question is, you mean from disability?
I mean that. Yes, I mean that. Like overall, yes.
Brett Keane is not worth the fucking the pavement of the sidewalk that he uses his rascal to scoot across. He is not. Brett Keane is a complete piece of garbage. Let's not be mistaken there.
You've paid Brett Keane $2,000? That's he's made more than that in his life. Off what?
No, he hasn't.
Just slanging Dick to Dorn and having her go to work makes more.
Nope.
And he hadn't done that either. He hadn't done that either. There's no Dick to Door. There's no fucking Nick. What? Her name is Dor, isn't it?
Dorn.
Dick to Dorn.
Dick to Dorn.
Oh no, there's none of any of that. That man is a complete fucking waste of space. Like Burger King would fire him.
Yeah.
Like you're like, dude, sir, you're supposed to make more Whoppers than you fucking sneak into your fucking pants. Brett Keane is just garbage. Look, he's no Skrelly, all right?
He's and TJ is like early atheist YouTube, so he had to deal with Brett.
Yeah.
When Brett was an atheist YouTuber.
Dude, Jesus Freak 777.
Oh my God.
Fucking Yoke Up. Fucking Gear Up. I remember all
Do you
these
remember
fucking
do you remember Fake Sagan?
Oh yeah.
That dude's like an Orthodox Christian now.
Are you shitting me?
No.
Mr. Awesome-o, Mr. Awesome,
Captain
Mr.
Awesome.
Captain Awesome. Yeah, dude.
Dude, it's
Didn't
so
he upload
funny.
a sex video? Like,
Yes.
Of him
fucking
fucking Fake Sagan's
Sagan's
girlfriend.
Yeah.
Damn.
Ouch.
It's
That's
so funny
YouTube
that
back in the
I was
day,
just a
baby.
viewer, and now I'm standing in the presence of Coctopus Prime and Dark Matter.
Well, I mean, Dark Matter subscribed to me first, so technically I am the origin.
Yeah.
I am the original. No, seriously, like I've just been doing this shit for way too long. It's addicting to
I
to
love
kind of be
a
involved.
current affair. Yeah.
Don't worry. Anybody that actually is a Coctopus Prime like fan and subscriber from back in the day, I will be bringing that channel back. I've been planning it for a while. I am totally bringing it back because now, like, for a while there, I was like, man, it's just not like I don't have the time and it's not the right time, but it's the right time.
It
so
is.
As soon as I find the time, this is the time to bring all that shit back. It's absolutely more ridiculous than it's ever been.
Yeah, but it is a different atmosphere though, because YouTube is very much dominated by the types of people that would like Fox News.
Sure, and that's fine by me. Like the likes versus dislikes has never bothered me. In fact, a video that gets a healthy amount of dislikes usually means I'm striking the right chord and hitting the audience that I actually like. I don't need to convince people that already believe me. True. Like that's been my entire fucking thing. I'm not here to make a buck. I'm not here to stroke my ego. I'm not here to have people pat me on the back. I'm here to like say what I feel and disagree with it or not. None of that has ever mattered to me, and that's from fucking over a decade ago with this fucking YouTube shit. I've been doing it for way too long to like give a fuck.
I've been watching you before I ever did DP. Like I watched you like way back in the day.
I take that as a huge compliment, and I respect the fuck out of you guys, all of you.
Yeah.
And it means a lot to me to know that like I had any kind of influence at all at any point. I'm not trying to like regain any kind of influence, but I would like to like regain, I guess, my ability to like my voice to just like put it out there.
Is this still the same room as your old videos? Like what I'm looking at right now?
What are you talking? Oh no.
Okay.
So previously it was my man cave.
Okay, that's what I saw.
Like my man cave I miss so much, but I have twins now, and they're 3. So that the man cave became the nursery, and now this is my bedroom upstairs. Dark Matter actually recently visited me and took a picture sitting in the commander's chair here, and Paul did as well. I'm not like it is what it is. My life has changed. My free time has been limited, but the passion to voice my opinion is all I've ever really like used this site for, and I absolutely plan on like bringing that back. And it, I've lost a huge audience, and most of that was when Google took over. Like I really lost.
He's old school YouTube. Like he was early. Like I was watching him in 2007.
If you went back and looked at my channel now, almost everything you would look at would be dated, and it wouldn't make sense in the time. But there are a handful of videos that are just like timeless on my channel, and I I guess I'm happy I made those ones so that not everything it feels pointless, because when you're making things to be quick on the draw, you're not thinking about the long term, and the long term is basically this will gain its views in 1 or 2 weeks and then nothing. And that's basically how podcasts work for the most part.
Yeah.
It is very difficult to make this shit work. It takes a lot of work. Ben and Billy do like way more than you guys ever fucking know, and Dark Matter and I as well. I had to cancel our last week's show because I updated XSplit and I couldn't fucking get the audio to work. And now I'm just gonna move over to OBS and say fuck it. I've literally worked on it for a week and I can't do it.
Ben goes through that. Ben goes through tech issues with the whole setup. Ben's always fixing tech issues. I'm always trying to shit myself because I had bad Chipotle. We put so much into this. You guys don't see.
Dude, step number 1 into not shitting yourself is not wearing the fucking big orange fucking one-piece jumpsuit.
That was the worst. That was the worst.
But seriously, like, I really do love you guys. I love Dark Matter. I love fucking Ben. I love Billy. I love everyone in the chat. Like, everyone viewing this even after the live or whatever. Like, this shit really means a lot to me. And I feel like I'm kind of part of the original process. And
you are, though.
I don't want to stop. I don't ever want to stop.
Like, I want to tell you that you are because, like, I was a nobody, and I met somebody, TJ Kirk, and I started this shit. But I was like, I was always a fan of yours, for sure.
Well, I really, really appreciate that. You guys have always been awesome. I've never tried to make this shit a career or anything. Like, I have a passion in the kitchen, and like.
I said no fellatio, guys.
For real, this has been super
Are we blowing each other now?
I've never Googled the word boogers before. I'm Googling the word boogers and image searching, and okay, I thought it wasn't going to be as bad, but then I scrolled down. It was kind of fine at first, and then I scrolled down.
I did like Dark Matter's TJ animated video that he did.
Okay, this is what
that was when I was still working with him too.
Booger beetles and fecal shields. That's what turned me.
What is this?
This is
we turned this from
777
something
Neighbor of the
beautiful into something boogers.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
please read
there
this.
was too much fellatio,
Please
so I
read
googled
this.
boogers. Okay, 777 Neighbor Beast sandwich Shilly the fridge says Ben is a drunken artistic unable to detect sarcasm, and Billy is a fart batch who thinks he's better than the others because his ancestors came from a very specific part of the world. Does he actually demonstrate any superiority?
I'd fight you.
No, not exactly. Not at all. One, I do demonstrate superiority, okay? When I sit down, I take up more of a seat. That means I have seat superiority because my butt wider.
Oh, they was in my lap.
Yep. My butt takes up. I got seat superiority.
My butt.
Wide supremacy.
But
Ben,
could I
the
do
hype
a
man
fucking
is like, my butt?
dude? Stop blowing up my gimmick. Anyway, yeah, I did it.
777 Neighbor of the Beast says you'll never be the master of anything, Bill. Joe is a better man than you. He has children. Where are yours? That's why you submit to that man. That's why you swallow his load. Yeah. Weird fantasy. In your fantasy,
hold on,
in your fantasy, I'm a
you
cum.
are a loser. Though,
I'm a
right?
cum swallowing white supremacist.
Yeah. Well,
interesting.
We agree on that.
Interesting.
I thought our fans were bad. Jesus Christ.
Interesting. The worst part about this is he only paid $3 to say it.
He's like, you could have at least paid me more.
Yeah, could have at least
you accused me of guzzling cum.
Could have at least dropped to 20 so the robot would have read it and interrupted us.
Yeah, for real. Next time, drop $20 and call me a cum guzzling Nazi fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Nazi.
Exactly.
I fucking really do love you guys. Jesus Christ. I honestly, I worked today and I worked like a long shift, but all day I was
the
like,
sun
it'll
coming up. Like you're on the East Coast, so like the sun is already rising there.
Yep.
Yes, it is, Ben. Yes, it is.
Yep.
But I looked forward to this shit all fucking day. I was like,
Ben
no
and
matter
Billy
how
are
bad my
highly
day
regarded in the artistic individual
Thank
situation.
you. Thank you.
I love
Rat
how
Lord
we're
Alcaraz
highly
knows.
regarded.
We're highly
by
regarded.
everyone.
Yes. The
We're
artistic
so
individual
smart.
situation.
I'll tell you what. So, Billy,
Screeching artistic.
a couple of years ago, Billy got to open. Billy does rap, the rap musics.
That's what the kids call it.
Yeah, that's what they call it.
Nowadays?
Yes.
Okay.
So I go to it, and I'm heard like I was told that Jake the Snake fucking Roberts was gonna be at this shit.
Jake the Snake.
So I'm talking to Billy and a couple of his friends, and this giant fucking hand slaps my shoulder, and he's like, "Well, well, well." I heard it like behind me. He was like, well. And I turn around. It's fucking Jake the Snake Roberts. And like chills go up my spine. Like no fucking lie. Like literally. It's Jake the fucking Snake Roberts.
Yeah.
I can't even like I grew up.
Yo,
it was cool.
I went to a con a few weeks ago and got to see what's his fucking name? Mick Foley.
Nice.
Mick Foley
I love Mick.
Mick Foley is one of the most intelligent wrestlers ever. At his
He
level.
was so cool. He was doing like
Yes,
autographs
and I met
and
him before,
pictures
too.
And somebody brought like a fan. God damn it, what's it called? The his mask. God, it is
Yeah.
his. Anyway, they a fan brought that, and he was like fucking just grabbed it right up, fucking slapped it on, and took a picture with him. And I was like, dude, what a cool, like, just so happy.
He's a great guy. He's very
Fucking great guy.
intelligent, but Jake the Snake Roberts, he is not.
Oh no!
And I want to say, like,
Jake's intelligent.
it's a totally different thing. And I had waited for my whole life to talk to Jake. And we were all drunk and hanging out. And then I finally, like, I was fucking wasted because the bar pours like double in that place, right?
It was pretty heavy, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the same place that the last meetup was at.
Yeah. So, like, I saw Jake standing there, and I'm like, "Hey, Jake," and he's like, yeah," and I'm like, "Oh, remember how like I was like a kid, and then this happened, and then he saw a hot blonde coming in.
He's like, "Oh, sorry,
Jake
brother.
acted like I never existed.
Gotta go work myself
hot
into a
blonde
shoot."
Came in.
She was in her 40s. Jake's
Probably.
perfect age.
Yep.
She wasn't young enough to like forget. She probably had her Johnny tingle at one point when she was in her teens.
This one might know what wrestling is.
Yes.
Yep.
She remembers it when it was the WWE.
Yep. That's what happened to me.
He walked in. He said, "Hey there, little
Hey
lady.
there.
You want to meet Damien?"
But there's a
They
weird
call
thing.
me
like,
Jake the Snake,
dude,
and not
Jake
for the reason you're
told this
thinking of.
crazy. Jake told this crazy tale about how like Rick Rude, ravishing Rick Rude, would pick like the prettiest girl out of the crowd to like come give him a kiss. And Jake had a girlfriend in the town where like that was happening.
I think she was like Miss Ohio or something.
Yeah. And he
Miss
was
Cincinnati.
like, "Let me come into your mouth. And then when Rick Rude wants to kiss you, shoot that fucking load into his mouth."
Well, he said he like put it.
She's gotta hold it in her mouth.
No.
Yes. Yes.
Wait,
he said that. No, he didn't
He
say
said
that.
he said he's gonna
He
call
said
you up.
that.
He said he was gonna have. He said, "All right, you take this load. You spit this load into the cellophane wrapper. You know those cellophane wrappers wrapped around the cigarette packages." So she spit it into the cellophane that's wrapped around a cigarette package, right?
Yeah.
She had
he
it on her.
tells this story
He had it
on
her.
stage.
He carried the packet up, and then he said he's going to call you up because he calls the hottest girl in the crowd up to kiss him. When he calls you up, you go up there, and you take the little load out of the fucking cellophane wrapper, okay? You put it back in your mouth, and you kiss it into his mouth. And he said she did, and then he said that Rick Rude immediately knew there was some salty cum in there, and he immediately knew it was it was Jake the Snake, and ran and chased him back to his hotel. Jake's like, I had to hightail out of there. I went back to my hotel thinking I'd
Rick
be safe.
Rude was a big motherfucker.
Jake's big too.
Rick Rude.
Wait. So once the dude immediately knew it was Jake the Snake's cum that just got shot into his mouth, he ran immediately off the stage and chased Jake the Snake
To go
down
beat
to
up
his
Jake,
hotel room.
in his hotel room. Yeah.
How does he know what Jake's cum tastes like? man?
We all
does he know?
We
and-
all
and
know
how
what
does-
Jake's cum tastes like.
and
We
how
all
does he
know.
which Motel
We're
6 he's
born
staying at?
knowing what Jake's cum tastes like.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. Can we finish? I never thought I would say this. Can we continue with this Brett Keane video?
Horrible person
That
your
was the
family
weirdest
and friends
tangent
are. They know that your family member is in court for their life. They know that public perception is very important in a country where people are looking for fairness and justice. But is that truly fair? Is it true? Political
You happy-
opponent or
you
leader
happy
I'm
can
speeding him up.
degrade
Talking
and
about
defame your
Jake
loved
the
one
Snake
just simply
cum
so they can
anymore?
regain power or keep power or get power. That seems pretty dark to me. It seems pretty damn terrible that people who don't even know will do that. I mean, I thought that whenever we voted presidents and leaders into our country, that these people that we vote for were supposed to be concerned about all Americans out there. If you're going to be the president of the United States, your first priority should be the American people.
Wasn't
not
he a
pick
Trump
one group of
supporter?
People who seem to
Yes.
Yeah.
So
agree with
and Trump very clearly did not give a shit about like a vast at least half. Well, after the election, you would say more than half of the fucking voting electorate. Like Trump did not give a shit about.
Nope.
Did not give a fuck about. Like, what are you talking about, Brett Keane?
Yep.
And by the way, that's not just a Trump problem. That's an every president problem.
and then
Think
fucking
about
run over and
what
destroy
Brett
anyone
King's
who
point
may be
here
on another.
is politicians, butting in and talking about court cases and stuff, and that was like Trump's shtick for a while. Like
Yeah.
with the what was it those five guys that were accused of rape.
It was
that?
the
Central Park Five. Yeah,
Five. Yeah.
Trump was taking out like ads in the paper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
op-eds to talk about how they should be put to death.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
were found to be innocent.
Like
Side
and,
of the
and Brett
aisle.
Keane has a problem with politicians making comments, and he supports Trump. I mean,
And by the way, Biden never said like Rittenhouse should be like rot in jail or die or nothing. Nothing. These are the same people that were okay with the complete like political farce that was Trump for fucking 4 years or plus, and continue to go with that farce, but then like are happily like they're just so happy to call out any politician that tries to do anything similar in any fashion that doesn't go directly in line with their bullshit. It's like so obviously transparent, so fucking like full of shit, and they run with it, and their fucking audience and their base is so goddamn stupid that they eat it up over and over and over. And the problem is when you're in a democracy where everyone's vote counts equally and the idiots outnumber the fucking intelligent or the well-informed or even the fucking half-informed, you're going to end up with a fucked up society.
No, the problem is that we live in a system that has two choices, and the choices are basically decided by whether or not you want the right to abort your child, or whether or not you want the right to carry a gun, or whether or not you want the few other wedge issues that actually exist to split people.
No,
and there's
but it goes
crazy people
beyond
on
that,
each
man.
end. And they know something's wrong with the other side, because if you're on, no matter what side you're on, there's something wrong with the other side.
Sure. Okay. But you wouldn't agree that even the right and left want their kids to be fucking like educated or like be taught in a safe school
But
or
what
something
type
like
of
that.
education?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's such a basic, like, you want your kid to learn stuff, right? And then
You would think.
it's not even good enough to be like, yes, I want my kid to be educated. These people are like, no. How are they educated? I want them to think like I do. And that is such an unhealthy fucking thing. I don't think along the same lines of my parents, like in so many different aspects. They're religious. I'm not. They're conservative. I'm not. They all these different things. And we still like respect each other and get along, and we can talk for the most part. There's sometimes that it's a tough or whatever, but like that ability to like agree to disagree or like convince the other person of your argument has disappeared, and it's us versus them, and it's just total tribal bullshit, and that's where America is, and that's where it has been trending for a while, and it will only get worse, and I don't think it'll fix itself before it breaks. And when it breaks and the shit really hits the fan and we become the next Rome in history, like this superpower that fucking like just disappeared, that will be America.
Or
anyone that tells themselves otherwise is full of shit.
Are we
That
sure?
is America.
Are we sure?
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
just like Rome, no one ever thought Rome would fall.
Yeah, but maybe America fell. Maybe America fell 70 years ago when the CIA took over. And maybe right here, right now, everything we're doing is designed to work exactly how it's working. And the second that it's about to break, they just throw more little coins down at us.
Billy
We
will
pick up
bring
the coins.
a conspiracy theory into everything.
I mean,
Well,
did the
here,
CIA
let me
not
bring-
take
let me
over
bring
70
my
years
own.
ago?
I'll bring my own. Maybe America was broken the day it was founded.
No, because for one, we've had multiple points where the system was broken. Like when Hamilton came in and broke down the banking system to go to the Federal Reserve. We had a totally different breaking point from when it was founded. When we went when we got rid of the gold standard in the 70s, we had a totally different breaking point. It's been broken many times.
but
the system works perfectly for who it's supposed to work for.
Not if the system changes, is my point. If the original thing they came up with set it up so that it could be changed in the future, then it was a broken system. If it was perfect in the first place, it shouldn't have ever been changed. But it wasn't perfect. We all know it wasn't perfect. We all know the original fucking like Constitution, Declaration, all that shit, Bill of Rights, all of that shit is imperfect. It could have been better, right? We all know that.
It was.
But go ahead.
Well, all of that was just bullshit.
Okay.
It was a new religion, the religion of freedom that was sent down to people who didn't want to follow the rule of the king. It was the new rule, the new king. It was all bullshit.
Are you saying the ideal is bullshit or
Yes.
just how it's implemented?
Freedom has always been bullshit. It's been the new religion. It's been the ruling under your own self. We're gonna piss off the king, and now we're gonna pay taxation to us.
Okay, yeah, I can agree there that like overall it's tough to move past like certain ideals of society. It really is, and taxation and shit, and absolutely. But that's how society works. Like all these people that expect the society they currently live in to continue to happen without doing their contributions to it are like, it's the biggest joke ever. You want to talk about other people getting participation trophies, but at the same time, you're like, my participation is free roadways and free education and free that like free. I don't want to pay taxes for it. Just make it happen. That's not how shit works. You pay for shit. We all know nothing is for free. You all pay for something some way, somehow, sometime. Like that's reality of fucking life.
But what we're paying for isn't roads. What we're paying for.
I love these arguments. Please commence.
Go ahead.
What we're paying for is the rich to have a little more playground to do what they want to do. Like when's the last time we really rebuilt roads? It's pennies to like
we
cities.
literally just passed a huge infrastructure bill.
Has it gone through yet?
It will. Yeah.
Okay, it will. It hasn't gone through yet.
It will. It will.
Biden's-
It's way
still
past
Biden
due.
is a failure as a
Biden
president.
sucks. Don't get me wrong. Fuck the Democrats. fuck
He
the
is going
Republicans.
to hand over the presidency to Kamala.
If this goes through, you know what this is? This is just them inflating the balloon they're inevitably gonna suck empty again.
But that's how countries work. There's like no country that doesn't have some kind of debt. That's like just.
But our country,
large societies
our
work.
country is a fucking a debt pool for the mega rich,
Dude, debt pool sounds like an awesome comic book
We are a
character.
debt pool. That's what we are. Every child is born into America.
POOL.
Is born into America with what, $100,000 worth of debt now?
But that's every country. Literally every country has debt, and
How
every
much?
child born into it. It depends how big or powerful your country is, or how much money they sink into the military, or how much money they sink into
something
if
tells
they
me.
sink more. Let me finish real quick. If they sink more money into the military than they do taking care of the health of their own citizens, and they allow the health of their citizens to fall into the hands of corporate millionaire babies and shit to buy the rights to shit and stuff like that, and they instead they leave that, so they leave the health care to the fucking money makers.
Yes.
And then they focus on the military, and then they sell the contracts to the money makers.
Yes.
And then they sell and then the politicians are all corrupt and bought out. And then we complain about debt. Do you see where the problem might lie in all of this? I think it's the fucking where the money is pointed. We pay our taxes, and it's not put towards our fucking roads that we drive on. It's put towards a Tomahawk missile that'll be fired at some fucking village that we've never fucking heard of.
It's put towards more than just that. It's put towards all types of bullshit that doesn't feed us or
subsidies
because
for
what
rich,
I'm saying
subsidies
is
for oil companies.
what I'm saying is the system is not set up for us. It's set up for them, and it's working just fine. And the second it seems like it's going to break for them, they'll just throw us a little bit of crumbs, and we'll shut up for another 70 years as they take it right back. That's why I don't think Rome. The idea of Rome falling is applicable here. I think it fell 70 years ago, and they're just keeping us on life support to continue the upward trend of rich get richer. And the system
totally
works
agree
perfectly
there.
for who it's supposed to work for. It's not us.
Yeah.
It's them.
So I agree totally there, but Rome did fall, and nobody saw it falling until it was too fucking late. And the piecing it together shit, like last minute to kind of hold it together, that's what they did, and it didn't fucking work. And we're gonna follow the same fate.
So right here, Hell's Only says the U.S. America was not the first country to say we don't need a king. Exactly.
Of course.
But this is what America was. This was a country that said, hey, we're not going to pay into a king. We're going to pay into ourselves. And really what that means is somebody's going to become the new king. Whether it's the corporate interest, whoever it is the new king. And we're paying more than if we would have paid to that king probably, right? Because they found a way to not only take everything we have, but they found a way to take everything we potentially may have. They created a system of debt in the 1950s that's only gotten bigger and bigger and bigger for personal debt and maximized the amount of debt that you'll accrue just for living in this country. And it's huge. And if you aren't worth more than what $250,000 as an adult, then you are under. You're under your debt. If you're worth more than $250,000, you could pay your way out of the debt, and then whatever you have above that, you're living beyond the national debt. Wouldn't that be impressive if half the people?
We got less than $100 to get us all the way, and I'm sorry to interrupt this articulate young gentleman, but what the fuck are we doing?
I want to thank that neighbor, the Beast 777, for only
And I'll
giving
die
$2.
Do I need to die tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
So, neighbor of the Beast got given a ton of money. I want to address it all. Ben, I'm dipping into my Webull earnings. I don't know what that is. I would very much like you to address some bullshit that we're not going to talk about, you little sucker. But I will say, he said, whatever. TJ carried the show. Billy is a fat, unfunny asshole. Why are you like this?
Yo, why are you here?
God, I hate Billy so much. He's an example of why this country is failing with his enlightened centrism and shit. I got to tell you something, neighbor. I got to tell you something. You love me, and you don't realize it. You
It
realize
sounds like
that,
they
right?
love me, and I'm glad I have these wireless headphones so I could hear that while I took a piss.
Yeah,
I
it
did
depends
kind of
on
carry
which
the show
depends on which TJ they were talking about, because they also mentioned some other people from the original cast earlier. So it's a coin flip. It's a coin flip.
They're watching an old episode, but commenting on a live show. I guess.
Well, I think a lot of people watch the old episodes and rewatch the new episodes under the eyes of the old episode. And I'll tell you why. Because they're low intelligence people who can't discern between the two. They only see something for what it was and not for what it is. So it makes them really incapable of appreciating what it is, because they have these memory goggles. And this is the same guy that thinks I'm a white supremacist, the same guy who seems to have love how entertaining I can be, but hates me. I got to tell you something, Papa, sitting at home hating me right now. You actually love me. You don't realize it, because you don't realize that love and hate are the same emotion. Just look at different sides. Look at different sides.
It's me, because I hate Billy, but I love the fuck out of that man.
The amount of hate that you have, and this is the truth. Hate and love, they are two different flavors of caring. Okay, you either care enough about me to hate me or care enough about me to love me, but you care about me in a way that you can't help but throw money at the show. I need you to realize that when I tell you this. I don't care about you. Okay, these comments you make about me, they don't bother me. They don't get to me. And beyond that, it's entertainment for me to yell at you or the audience or whatever. When I leave the show, I sometimes forget I even do the show. That's how insignificant you are to me. I do remember a few people, though. I remember Hawkeye Poots almost all the time. Can't help it.
We got called by Mounts Fitzgerald. Just said D's people have low IQ, but spelled D's D-E-E capital Z.
That's savage.
That is pretty brutal. I am look. I've never had my IQ tested, but I'm pretty sure it's higher than yours. I'm just gonna put it out there. Not you, Billy. You, Mouse.
Well, the cool thing about IQs is that and your dick size will get you laid.
Exactly, yeah.
I will say, anyone that makes certain accusations, look at who their family is, look at who they're representing.
Is this guy Brett Keene's cousin?
Well, you know.
Damn.
That's all I have
Yeah,
to say.
Mouse Fitzgerald isn't talking shit. I think it was misread.
No,
but
it's all in good fun.
Hell's
This is
Only
all in good fun.
Hell's Only is talking about after the Civil War, Rome became the empire. So if the U.S. is like Rome, we're at the late Republic period. I think everything works a little differently than it did during Rome. Or we don't live in a world where space limits your limitations, right? Like Rome, you had walls to defend, land to defend. We're beyond that. We're waging wars right now via optics.
Yeah, but that's the debt you were complaining about. Like, it's all that is involved in that. All those optics we're running around the world is contributing to that giant global, like the U.S. debt. But the debt, our global policing is fucking us over.
The debt is a myth, right? The debt really doesn't exist. It just exists to accrue more wealth towards those that can manipulate it.
In the same way that money is a myth.
Exactly.
Like, it's the same idea.
It's part of the game.
But then you'll have people be like, if we just tied it to gold, then it would be. But gold, the idea of gold is a myth too. Like
Gold
there's
had
no
value.
nothing special about gold, but beyond its electrical properties. Like it's just shiny shit that we have assigned value to.
But it had
Same as
value
diamonds.
that we physically owned, right? That physical value meant we guard
Same as
this gold, and we have
it's the
something
same
to
as
back it up.
anything else. It could be corn, for all you fucking know. It's not
Why do you
important
think we have
what we
silos?
assign the value to. It's the fact that we assign value to shit that is not really valuable on like a universal scale.
But
we're very concerned about our own like
when you
personal
have the
squabbles and shit.
standard, when you have the standard that you have to hold to the gold, then you're limited by how much money you can print. When you're not limited,
but there's no standard with gold. The price fluctuates, so it's not like standard.
yeah, but the price
goes
fluctuates.
up and down.
But it goes up.
According to what? How many U.S. dollars can an ounce of gold be worth if a U.S. dollar doesn't have any value?
Well, it's
you understand?
Then it wouldn't have any value. As the value
Exactly.
of the dollar drops, the price of gold goes up, right?
Wait, when the shit hits the fan and you're starving, your family's starving, how much gold buys you a pound of corn? Like, because you can't eat the fucking gold.
Oh my God! Sorry.
So,
No,
but here's
you're-
the thing. Here's the thing. If the American dollar dies out, the gold has value to other dollars across the world.
Not if they're all starving. Like, let's say everyone's fucking dying of thirst.
If the entire
how much
world
gold
falls
is it gonna
apart,
take to
then
buy a gallon of
why are we even arguing about it at that point? What's the
well,
point?
that's my point. Is that
The point
like,
is that
we assign
your point is
value
that in
to
the world
things-
where there's no point, there's no point. I agree.
No, my point is actually that in a world where we assign value to things that are actually not very valuable just because they're like shiny or rare, that can all quickly change when the thing that is shiny and rare is the fucking like the things we need to survive. And so how if you're dying of thirst and you've got 100 pounds of gold,
yes,
like, is it really worth the gold? Really worth anything if it won't buy you a fucking drink of water?
If there's nobody that's willing to buy the gold, but in the economy that we existed, when the dollar was backed by the gold
Sure.
had value, and the
In our
dollar and
current
gold would
economy.
stay at the same price.
Sure. In our
'Cause it was-
current economy, things are the way they are. 100 years ago, they were very different. 100
Yeah.
years before that, very different. 100 years from now, they will be very different as well. And none of this shit will matter. The debt and all that I don't think any of that will matter in the fucking future. All of this shit will fall apart. Nothing, no currency will have any true value.
But that's a doomsday, right? Like, and in that doomsday,
No, that's-
sure.
That's a reality because our population is exploding and we don't have the resources to keep up with it.
We have tons of resources. The
Oh my God! I can't. Okay, keep going.
we have tons of resources.
No.
Resource allocation has been limited, and there's some people who take way more than they need, and there's some people that don't. If the earth
here in Florida, Nestle just bought up like 7
yes,
fucking
that's not because we
natural
don't have
waters.
enough resources. That's because people are squandering the resources.
That's because they literally Nestle buys the fucking rights to the water from
Yes.
the government because the government is willing to sell them to a company for a profit. They don't do it for the good of mankind. They're doing it for a buck.
Yes.
So when the bucks run out, when the shit runs dry and the bucks are, the dollar has no value, then what do you think happens? Like, this is how many lira does it take for you to buy a keychain? Do you remember what a lira is?
No.
It's a fucking Italian fucking currency that went up to like it's not even thought about anymore because it took fucking 25,000 lira to buy a fucking keychain.
Yeah, my Zimbabwe
The
dollars.
currency
I'm a
goes
Zimbabwe
fucking
millionaire.
Worthless eventually, and when that happens globally instead of just like locally in a countrywide, then the shit really hits the fan. And when you have billions and billions and billions, dude, I live in Florida. When we have a hurricane on the way, you can't get water or gas or fucking like anything. Toilet paper, everything is sold out immediately. And that's for a fucking local like thing. Imagine when it's global and you really can't get the shit that you want.
Yeah,
when
imagine
the
when it's
supply chain
global.
really
but
shits.
let's talk about this lira again. It lost all value. Did everybody in Italy die because of it?
No, they literally.
So we
had
haven't
to fucking,
we haven't made
change
the
their
end yet.
economy to-
Exactly. Exactly. We just update the operating system. Like you're saying, do you realize what happens to lira? It literally doesn't exist anymore. But everybody in that situation still does. So we have a disconnect here. This is not the end of the world scenario.
When Greece went bankrupt, nothing happened over there, right? It just like smoothly changed over. Right?
Did
Is that
everybody
how it
die?
worked?
Did everybody die?
Not every dude. Everybody dying is a pretty low bar to set.
But you're telling me
understand that, right?
what's corn or what's gold going to be worth when you can't buy corn?
I think I woke him.
You keep telling me these scenarios that are like doomsday scenarios, and you compare them to things that have happened in history.
Wake up,
and the
Ben
system.
Pie.
Wake
The
up,
Matrix has you.
wake up, Ben Pie, gotta wake up.
I am coming up with scenarios which are more doomsday because when the shit really hits, you don't think you think that like the human species will continue to overpopulate and like just rape the fucking earth forever and ever, and it'll never come to a peak or
Billy,
a boiling
you're going
point.
to need to fuck Ben awake.
Hey Ben, can I start this podcast? Stand up. Yep. Ben's pulled his butt cheeks out. Butt cheeks are barrel. Okay, Papa. I bottle keistered him. I keister bottled him. That woke you up.
I love you guys.
But yeah,
right,
the idea that the entire world's going to fall apart, and I'm saying that the world will find a way to move on, whether it falls apart or not. We'll find a way.
Stand up.
It'll probably do it with like a 20th of the population, and if like huge mass extinction level events are like okay with your future like worldview plans, I guess it's totally fine.
What's the other option?
You literally poked my butthole, by the way.
I did, yeah. I poked him with a bottle. I bottle butt.
In my butthole.
I bottle butt banged him. I gotta wake you up. Ben's kicking it.
I'm just saying that eventually our kids are going to be to a point where shit's going to hit a breaking point, and it's going to be like, there will be water shortages.
And I think that's the doomsday scenario. That's the doomsday. There will be water shortages, right? Okay, at that point, you know what'll happen? People will conserve. People will be forced to not drink as much water. They'll be forced to pay all their water out. But the way that our society works right now, they will find a way to keep us alive, or they won't, because we've been at the will and whim of death whenever, and it will continue to move on as long as the system is still profitable to the top 0.001%.
And some fucking Martin Shkreli will fucking come by and fucking buy up the water supplies and fucking raise the prices. And if you're poor, you're just gonna be thirsty and fucking die of
you're
fucking dehydration.
No, this is what Martin Shkreli would do. Okay.
Oh my God.
10 years after Nestle bought all the water rights, Martin Shkreli found a little oasis. And he took that little oasis and he monetized it like the world had already been doing for 10 years. That's all Martin did. That's all he did. He had found a little oasis and he monetized it.
It's ironic because back in the day, like having an oasis in your area would make you like, give you some kind of power. But nowadays with global fucking corporations and everything, it's not like that anymore. They're just going to grab that shit and they're just going to squeeze as much profit out of you as they can. Just the workforce scenario, and Ben, I know you're trying to end the show, but like
we can't end the show yet.
We can't. We have to keep it going.
Ben's trying to stay awake without another bottle jamming up his ass.
Okay, I'm gonna keep. Oh, we're almost to the goal. Bring that.
You're
goal
all bitching, but living in a Moss Max world as a hood ornament will be the best 3 days of my life.
Witness me.
I love it. Valhalla. This is all purely like spectacle. Like it's
speculative.
It's speculative, but it's also a spectacle. Like I guess my point is like this is all an argument for show. Like, because we don't know what'll happen, and it's just kind of a putting it out there.
I love how John is still here too. Like he's just kind of hanging out.
Fuck it.
Fuck that guy.
You know what? I actually dozed off and I woke up and I saw Ben was sleeping. I was like, well,
I do that.
Technically, me and Ben slept together. Technically,
we're lovers.
I think I'm gonna make that a Streamlabs option. I'm gonna write down the time of I usually do this for my podcast, but I'm gonna do it for yours now.
Literal sleep. Literal sleep. Be sure to put literal. Okay.
All right, no, I'm just gonna grab that audio and we'll go with that. What episode is this? 959. Okay.
Yeah, 959. We're getting so close to 1,000. And I guess we're going to have to do like this ridiculously long stream on 1,000.
It won't be long. We're just going to have we're going to have 100 people in the room at once.
At once and just get it all out of the way.
It's going to be like a ball.
Hey, episode 1,000. Good night, guys.
Yes. 100 people in the room. It's going to go for 5 minutes.
Damn, I'm sure that's the one episode that'll go truly viral. No, if you guys do end up doing like a long-term like stream for like 1,000, Dark Matter and I would be happy to be involved at some point. I'm sure. Yeah, absolutely. I'm more like I can't tell you how pleased I am that to be kind of a regular over here. It makes me feel good. It gives me something to look forward to, and I literally I'm like, oh, what are the topics like? Because I run the other show, so it's not like as exciting. This is fresh. Yeah. It feels good. I fucking love you guys. I love even the haters in the chat. I love all you motherfuckers. Wow.
No, they all love you too, though. Like if they're old
Fill
school.
That gap for these sweet arguey
Fill
boys.
that gap. Who likes that gap, Phil?
Are you filling my butthole gap?
I already did once. Yeah.
Oh.
Ben pulled it out.
Is that why I'm walking weird?
You whipped. Yes. You're
what
cockeyed.
What does the bottle smell like, Billy?
Poopies. Poopies. I'm not gonna smell the bottle. Like,
you guys are so close to your goal.
I'm about to eat some Fat Shack tonight.
You're gonna go get some more Fat Shack.
I'll talk all those Canadians and British bitches.
Her
Drink.
Oh, we're so close, guys. But unfortunately the show's over. Have a good night. Have a good night, everybody. It's good seeing you. Thank you, Drunken Mechanic Raymond. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good night, guys.
No.
Have a good night. Gotta go now.
No.
Dude, I think that was done on purpose just to leave you fucking 28 cents short.
I think we were 28 cents short.
That's really impressive.
28 cents. Yeah, it sucks that we have to end the show 28 cents away from hitting the goal. The worst day of my life. I got the meats.
99.97. Jesus, so close, man.
Oh well. Someone's gonna donate.
I don't work really brutally hard on this at all. Just send in like negative change, please.
Dude, when they invent negative tips, we're all fucked.
I know.
There it is. There it is.
Thank you, Drunken Mechanic Raymond. We got another little tootie coming through too.
I thoroughly enjoy helping you guys reach your goal every time we come on.
Yeah.
Really
I'm glad to have it's like you two guys are my early YouTube subscribers. Like I
thought you were gonna say crushes.
Okay, yes, I would like to date both of you.
Yeah, you're our...
I mean, like maybe a little bit.
You're our crushes.
I'm gonna twirl my hair while I talk about this.
We want to
really
suck
quick.
and fuck both of you so bad.
Yeah.
No, dude, it's one of my favorite things about having Dark Matter on the podcast is it reminds me of the old school way this shit was. You know what I mean? Like before all the bullshit, and kind of reminds me of the old live streams. And you guys remind me of the same thing.
To me, it was both of you though. Like he did his like weird angels. Like, hey, what are you doing today? I love that shit. Yes, I loved that shit. It was the angels with like the weed leaf on their like robe or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I love that.
You can actually see it if you look at his picture right now, and you see the top little thing. That's the top of the weed leaf covered in his junk.
I grew up on that shit.
Yep. Dude, how does it feel, Dark Matter, to have someone say they grew up?
I think we're about the same age too. I'm 40, so like.
Yeah, so am I.
Yeah.
People tell me that all the time, though, so it's all right.
Oh yeah, so
dude,
he's like,
I saw you and TJ Kirk bitching about like they do this thing where they're like, "Oh, you're still around? I didn't know that." It's like it's like what? Just because you don't watch it, it's not around anymore?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with when Google took over YouTube, like a lot of people kind of got unsubscribed or unnotified when there was videos. And I've had people like come and they're like, back when I was making more videos, but they'd be like, I didn't know you were still making videos. I hadn't seen anything pop up for
I think some of
months
it's
and months
just
and months.
assholes too.
Sure.
Well, it's
No,
perception.
absolutely.
People, if they don't see it, they don't believe it exists. That's just the most
Wait,
people. are that
wait a
dumb.
second. I want to contend what Ben just said because I don't believe assholes exist on the internet.
Oh,
no.
So I want to. No. This is I'm gonna argue this point just like I did the
Keep
paintball.
arguing. The room is spinning, but keep going.
You poor son of a bitch. You're where I was last time I was on the show.
Keep talking.
I just wanted to lay down. Here, hold on, Ben. This will help.
Yeah, say what you want to say.
You poor son of a bitch. Let this man sleep. You hit your goal. We love being on.
go forever.
I look forward to being on to the next show. I will drag Dark Matter wherever I go. He's my little bitch, and don't let him tell you otherwise.
Dude, I had 2 root beers tonight, and I'm fine.
Whoa,
Dude,
whoa!
this
How
is-
many root beers?
Whoa! I got to cut you off, buddy.
Yeah.
What type of root beer were they?
Diet
and
Oh no!
Yeah.
I can't believe you did 2 diets. How are you even talking?
Dude, 2 diets and you still have a belly. How the fuck did that happen? Seriously though, we really do appreciate coming on here, and we'll be happy to join you any fucking time. Yeah, you guys are fantastic, and I feel super like privileged to be involved in a Drunken Peasants episode.
It's white privilege.
Well, it's a white privilege because it had Brett Keane in it, and I'm like tickled. I am fucking tickled. I cannot tell you how fucking happy I am right now. I'm gonna go to bed tonight dreaming about the stallion.
The stallion. Good night to all of you and to all of our best. We
Thank you, everybody,
appreciate you all.
for your continued support of the show. Go follow the goddamn podcast if you aren't already, and everybody else who is following the goddamn
Seriously.
podcast. Google chicks with dicks. See what comes up.
Check out the goddamn podcast. Come watch us and give Dark Matter all the fucking hell in the world. That's all I want. Just everybody
Jesus
loves
Christ.
this guy. Please teach him his place in the world, and it's not where he's at. All right, bring him down a notch. All right.
Good night.
I love you guys.
Night.
In the beginning, there was nothing, and then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. From the strangest corners of the internet, gonna get TP'd by Billy and Ben. You know where you can find them at. Get ready, cause they're gonna kick your... Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants.